I love the game.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. I said super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Mr. Z don't got too much to say, y'all. It's gonna be just a Mr. Z and the boys day today. I just want to say to the Hodge twins, I see y'all dancing. I see y'all dancing, right? Oh man, the Hodge twins dance like a mug. Oh man, look, calling them brothers coons is too easy. The Oscar Wilde quote, right? It's difficult to get someone to believe something, especially when their paycheck is dependent on them not believing it. Is that how it's phrased? Either way, we already know what they're on, right? Check the links in the description box if you don't know what Mr. Z is talking about. Check the links in the description box. I think what's really, really, really frightening is like Nick Fuentes is like a known white supremacist. Like he owns it, right? He owns it. And this is who the Hodge twins, the quote unquote patriot twins, are using as a reference for what? That y'all different type of Negroes? Y'all ain't the same? I understand they got a mixed background. I get it. Y'all not the same, right? Why? Because y'all was in the military? Huh? Y'all not like them Negroes over there? So what's fascinating is the comments. Oh, the anti-blackness in the comments. The calling black people them with the parentheses around it, or with the right? And and the quotes around it, the quote marks around it. Oh man. All right. Well, us Latinos and Asians and whites all think the same thing. We just can't say it. First of all, who's us? Wait, white people including you? Wait, Latinos, you under the hoods too? Maybe some of the white ones. Wait, you indigenous looking Latinos? Yeah, wait, the white folks messing with y'all like that? Huh? You and Brad Bradington the third are friends now? Or is Brad Bradington the third just trying to pogo stick up and down your sister's esophagus? Who's us? All you South Asians, wait, y'all think y'all white now? Oh, the white folks rock with you now, huh? It's fascinating. Trump came down a goddamn escalator talking crap about Mexicans, in particular Latinos, and the Cubans in South Florida and the Venezuelans said he's not talking about me. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, us. Boy, y'all super slow. Hey, black people, black men, I thought we were the ones that had low IQ. I thought we were the ones with the messed up culture. But the white worshipers over here, the Latinos that have their lips surgically attached to white peen, Donald Trump came down the goddamn escalator and said Mexico's sending us all their criminals. And the Cubans and the Venezuelans were like, he ain't talking about us. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Trump decided to spark off a whole goddamn trade war with China. He had Japan bowing his first term. Huh? You see the Asians might even, the East Asians got their whole Pan-Asian thing going on right now between South Korea, Japan, and China because of the U.S. white people. And yet the East Asians like, us? Who's us? Wait, white folks messing with y'all right now? Or once again, let me say it again, or just the white dudes just trying to pogo stick up and down East Asian women's esophagus. East Asian men, wait, the white guys are calling y'all small peen. The white guys over here piping every Asian woman that has legs, maybe not even legs, and y'all talking about us. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, when these non-white folks think that white people include them because all of y'all have an issue with black people. Okay, yeah, that's it. Last time I checked, white flight doesn't only include black people. Too many Asians move in the neighborhood and white people move too because they don't want the competition. But y'all over here saying us. Okay, yeah, that's it. So the only thing y'all are unified on is anti-blackness. And the white folks still don't rock with y'all like that. Huh? Vivek thought he had a pass because he was anti-black, and the second he told white folks, "Hey, by the way, this culture," white folks was like, excuse me? By the way, American culture." He meant white culture, by the way. All the people in the Hodge Twins comment saying, "It's not about race, it's about culture," but y'all really are saying, "Yeah, them Negroes over there." Also, hey, dear black people, black men, everybody's unified and making sure that big black obelisk don't touch none of they women. Meanwhile, white men are pogo sticking up and down every woman they could touch. And these other men of color are saying, "Yeah, them Negroes over there. Yeah, that's it." Boy, y'all white worship is next level. I don't know who's more of a bottom for white men of color or women of color. Men of color minus black men, that is, by the numbers. Shout out to Dr. Jennifer Lundquist and Dr. Chantel Buggs. Everybody's chasing after white peen except for black men. Huh? Everybody worships at the altar of white men except for black men. No wonder y'all women is willing to bow down to the white man, because y'all are too. Huh? And the Hodge twins doing their best rendition of "Not us, boss." Huh? Let me get this right. White folks want to have a black person say something anti-black so bad, right? Amazing Lucas told you I was being encouraged by the white folks to talk like this. And Candace Owens and them are grifters. Tatum are grifters. White folks put their fingers in the air. I didn't hear him. Candace Owens came out and said, "Yeah, Ben Shapiro and them were chipping me off and giving me some good money to talk crap about black people. Y'all put y'all fingers back in your ears." The Hodge twins doing the same thing and y'all ignoring it. Okay, all right, white folks. Okay, we hear you. Yep, y'all get what y'all get with Donald Trump. Oh, white folks. Oh, you, especially you poor and lower middle class, poor white folks. Oh, y'all get what y'all get with Donald Trump. Y'all voted for Donald Trump because y'all was anti-immigrant, y'all were anti-black, and now you get what you get. Now y'all dying under them tariffs. Rightfully so, dumbass. Oh, y'all get what y'all get. Z got absolutely no sympathy, zero, zilch, nada. Donald Trump is single-handedly destroying the little bit of money y'all did have. The little bit of money your grandma or your granddad did have in the 401, in his 401k or her 401k, and y'all still talking anti-black. All right, choke on that dick. Let's say America will go down in flames, still worried about what the Negro is doing with his peen. White folks will go down in flames, and the last thing on their mind will be "F them Negroes" as they die. Oh man. Oh, so y'all having a cheerleading campaign, uh, in the Hodge Twins comments, anti-black like hell, and y'all are following behind Nick Fuentes of all people. Huh? Wait, didn't Nick Fuentes just call what's his name a token the other day? What y'all think the Hodge Twins are? Hodge Twins, wait a minute, y'all playing Nick Fuentes. What you think you are? What do you think you are to all the white folks and non-black folks in your comments right now? Huh? Oh boy. Shout out to the Hodge Twins, boy. Bless y'all heart. Bless y'all heart. Hey, okay, I get it. I'm not like them Negroes over there. The problem is culture. The problem is... And y'all let all those IQ slick disses, sneak disses slide. All that culture, sneak dissing slide. All that, yeah, everybody's in agreement that those folks over there, black people, are the real problem. Everybody's in agreement. Meanwhile, rich white elite people take the money and run. Hey, the black people I know, they don't want to be around black people too. Don't you notice when those people get money, they don't even want to be around their own? Yeah, and when East Asians get money, the first thing they go do is go prostitute their daughters out to some white man. Ooh, god damn, Z. When South Asians get some money, the first thing they daughter want to do is go be the trampoline for some white guys. Go ask Mindy Kaling. Oops. Go ask J. Vance's wife. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Go ask Nikki Haley. Goddamn, Z. Stop it. Stop it, Z. Stop it. All that education from you South Asians and you East Asians, all y'all are supposed to be the quote unquote high IQ ones, right? With all the discipline and the safe neighborhoods. And the first thing y'all daughter want to do, is go bounce on some white peen. Well, there you go. The money, the education, the high IQ, the discipline, and y'all cannot keep your daughters from jumping over the fence, hopping over the fence to go deal with any basic ass white man. It don't even gotta be an elite white dude. Do I need to go search for my clip where an Indian woman is saying she'll be the breadwinner? Her man, she wants a white man. Let's be very clear. She says she wants her race preference is white, and she okay if he's a stay-at-home man. Oh boy, how many of you South Asians would that Indian woman give that pass to? I'll wait. Huh? Trusted base model brand? That's hysterical. Base model brand, pogo sticking up and down all of these goddamn women of color esophagus, and these men of color are saying, yeah, the problem is them Negroes over there. Yeah, okay. Boy, that white worship, ooh. Nobody wants to be in a neighborhood with them. Meanwhile, too many of y'all move in the neighborhood and the white folks move out also. Well, damn. I see none of y'all brought that up. It's called white flight. See, everybody thought white flight was just black people in robbery, and they knocking over the corner store and the bodegas, and black people in the violence. And then too many Asian folks move in, and the white folks leave anyway. Ooh, goddamn. And remember, there's no hip hop music. The hippity hoppy music isn't playing in their neighbor's house, There's no violence. Nobody's knocking over white grandma for her car keys, and they still leave y'all ass. Well, damn. What happened? All those nuclear families and discipline, all the extracurriculars for your kids, Kumon and whatnot, ballet, piano, violin, cello, right? And the white folks still leave and go incorporate another city and get the hell away from you when you think that we're only doing that to black people. Boy, y'all men of color are straight yitches. Y'all are straight yitches, bro. And I mean what I say. Y'all are the bottoms for white men. Sometimes literally, but definitely figuratively. Y'all don't fight for nothing. Y'all don't stand for nothing. No wonder your women go over there. Because in America, all y'all are off-brand wannabe white men. No wonder the white dudes could fight. They could pull just about any Latina. Easy. Just about any East Asian. Just about any South Asian. Just about any Southeast Asian. Easy. Easy. Just about any indigenous. Easy. Why not? Because y'all worship at the altar of them too. Whether it's Tila Tequila, whether it's Nikki Haley, whether it's Mindy Kaling, Zoe Saldanas, name them. All white worshipers. Why not? The men in their communities are white worshipers too. Are y'all sure y'all not jealous of the women in your community because y'all wish y'all would have won being used as a trampoline by the white men? Pathetic. Pathetic. Huh? Them white folks checked the hell out of Vivek, and you still got South Asians talking crap. But wait, y'all think y'all white? So wait a minute. So you think you get cool points, you get brownie points for defecating on black people, black men, in front of white men? Huh? East Asians. Donald Trump waged a goddamn war on China practically. Huh? And y'all think y'all included? First of all, dear East Asians, I want you to understand the average white person doesn't distinguish Japan from South Korea, from China, from Singapore, huh? From Laos, from Cambodia, from the Philippines, from Indonesia. All of it's the same. It don't matter. Wait, Z, you got some South Asians and some Southeast Asian, some East Asian countries mixed up in there. And your point is, that's how they think. Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, same difference. Huh? Wow. And y'all got the nerve to be talking crap about black people in the comments. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah. Hey, everybody gonna learn the hard way, apparently. Everybody must learn the hard way. Whoever don't hear will feel. Y'all just gonna have to learn the hard way. White folks don't mess with y'all like that either. Huh? Wow. Who knew? Coward ass men. Cowards. No wonder y'all don't be at. I'm not saying to go to no BLM protests, but no wonder y'all don't be at nothing. God, pathetic, weak, losers. Oh, no wonder y'all don't feel like y'all included in the American project because you're not. They treat us like the other. Yeah, and the ass kissing is supposed to include you. Know you're supposed to fight. You know how black men do, huh? Pathetic. And y'all gives you a second. Let me look at this. Let me look at this super chat so I can read it. Give me a second before I pop off my screen. Wait a minute. And Guy Incognito says, and thank you for the super chat, Guy Incognito. He says, this show could lead to the criticism of Trump, and I'm too busy to watch. If it does, sorry about the Black Manosphere tears you'll get in the comments. I did mention Trump. I did mention Trump. I did. Right. Coming down the escalator, mentioning Mexicans, I want y'all to understand he said Mexicans, he meant Latinos. If you don't ask me, if you don't believe me, go ask the Puerto Ricans he was throwing what toilet rolls or paper towel rolls at after the goddamn hurricane. Huh? It was fascinating listening to the Venezuelans in South Florida. My son got, I'm not my son, my husband got deported, and but we have this business and he employs 20 people. And I'm like, wait a minute, ma'am, do you, wait a minute. You think white folks give a hell about what you're talking about, number one? Oh, I forgot. In Latin America, you can elevate your color by being a quote unquote beneficial to society. White folks in America don't work that way. When they said white, they mean white, and you're not that, or at least your husband wasn't that. There's no elevating into whiteness in America, ma'am. That's why they call it the one drop rule. Ain't no elevating out of that. It's a hard line cast. The only people that get included are other lesser whites. Go ask the Italians and the Irish. Huh? So maybe eventually white Latinos, maybe a mestizo here and there get included. But you indigenous looking and your hair a little too curly? Yeah, nope. Pathetic. It'd be the funniest thing in the world when people's worldview and opinions punch them in the face. When their spite or resentment or their ideas of black inferiority, or when they try to use the system to regulate them Negroes over there, and it comes back and bite them in the ass, and then you watch them trying to explain because you didn't think Trump was talking to you. Okay, yeah. Better yet, you didn't think Trump was talking about you. And we're here now. Goddamn. White folks be white folks be white folking all around y'all, and y'all are so cowardly. Because let's call it what it is. You're not talking about me, white. Excuse me. You're not talking about me, right? White Zaddy? Not me, right? Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? And how many people came in the defense of Vivek? How many white people came in the defense of Vivek when Vivek was gay and ran up and down Twitter by white folks? How many of them came to his defense? See, y'all thought Ann Coulter was a one-off, or you thought she was just a small minority of white folks. Huh? When she told Vivek, you know what, you ran a great campaign and you're smart and da. Yeah, but you're not white. You're what she said, you're Indian. Huh? You're Indian. Wait, you thought, and then you see the weirdos. Oh, yeah, but he was born in Ohio, and wait, you think white people care about that? You could be 3 generations in. You're Indian because you're not white. Huh? Wait, black people, black men. I thought we were supposed to be the ones with low IQ, though. Remember? Did I miss something? Maybe I mean, I'm a black person, so our culture is faulty and our culture is so messed up that it makes us slow and dumb. We're barely smarter than chimpanzees. As a matter of fact, the chimpanzees are smarter than us. We're the dumb ones, but yet you got all the high IQ, smart Ivy League attending folks who don't realize when white people are white peopling, and they don't mean you, Hodge twins, and all the losers in the comments. Huh? We're so dumb. Our IQ is so low, we don't even know how to tie our own shoes. And our culture is so faulty, right? Our culture is so faulty that we make up 1% of the US population, but yet we commit 99% of the crimes. Mr. Z got to exaggerate for effect. Huh? And yet all the low crime, no crime, high IQ folks are following behind the Hodge twins, who's following behind Nick Fuentes of all people. Bona fide white supremacists. And that's who y'all decide to reference, Hodge twins. And then all you other weirdos in the comments that are supposed to be men, I bet you some of these dudes are super swole with no neck, and I still think y'all are yitches because it don't matter. I do CrossFit every day. You still a yitch, bro. If you falling behind pencil neck ass Nick Fuentes, you falling behind the Hodge twins, who's falling behind Nick Fuentes. Well, Big L got a line about your bench press. For all of my hip hop heads, y'all know the line. Rest in peace, Big L. Anyway, right? So on that note, there's that. I gotta read that second super chat before it's too late, before it pops off my screen. It was with the second super chat. Yeah, god damn it, that's what I get. Oops. Because it didn't show up on StreamYard, so I was trying to read it before it popped off of YouTube, and it's gone now. Whoever that was with the second super chat, put it back. I think it was Detroit. Put it back so I can read it, or at least type it in. And yeah, I'm gonna drop the link for you guys in 1 second because I cannot stream that long today. By the way, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and yeah, can't stream that long today, but yeah. So we're I'm gonna bring y'all up in a minute because we're not gonna be able to stream for that long. But yeah, once again, the Hodge twins over here dancing. So you know, and shout out to all the people of color in the comments dancing, right? Y'all some dancing ass, yeah, boy, yep. Y'all dancing for them white folks. I get it. I get it. You don't think that's what you're doing? Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Do I want to read this one now? Let's read this one now. Right? And Bruce Von Wayne says, I'm gonna need y'all token Negroes to hit the dance floor. Right? Bruce Von Wayne, no, hey, if y'all didn't know, yeah, we definitely got some cooning ass Haitian folks. Y'all better believe it. And we give them hell. And we give them hell. Right? Oh man. And let me before I do that, I'm gonna drop the link for y'all and give me like 10 minutes. I'm gonna drop the link for y'all because let me talk about the Sarge Willie Pete and Kim Foster thing and the fact that both of them are saying the same thing but not the same thing at the same time. Okay, let's get to it. The issue we have here with the lowering childbirth, once again, if y'all saw, and Kim Foster actually, okay, fine, cool. But once again, in the partner talk, Kim Foster, we're not doing partnership, bro. We're not. Kim Foster, you could keep on saying partner until you turn pink. We're not till you turn white, right? We're not doing partner. We're not because y'all don't mean it, right? Kim Foster, y'all do not mean partner. Maybe you mean partner, but women don't mean partner. The Miss Foster, entertain the idea that people like you, outliers, are doing just way too much talking. Like even you said, a lot of people don't want to work. Women may not want to work, and then a lot of people don't want to work. Ma'am, appreciate that this is a thing. Let me play it again for y'all. Let me play it again for y'all. This is a thing. Y'all don't want to do partner. Here you go.
I'm submitting to no man that expect me to go 50-50. You want your wife to bear your children, cook, clean, work enough hours to handle big bills, and take care of you? You expecting me to pay big bills, baby? I'm gonna want some bussy when I get off of work. Fuck is you talking about? Bend that ass over. Let that bussy breathe. This what you wanted, right? 50-50, right? And I do mean assume the position when I get off of work. As soon as I get off of work, that ass better be tooted up. As soon as he get up off me, I'm gonna look at him like, my turn. My turn.
So, interesting framing, right? She said, you expect me to submit? And then she went in her whole sexist, misandrous diatribe. Why that's important to emphasize is her framing was submit. And then she told you how, okay, fine, I'm not submitting if I'm doing 50. Okay, cool, all right, cool, all right, okay, understandable. But if I have to do 50-50 in any capacity, financially, oh, guess what? You bending over. I'm gonna peg you. Ma'am, Miss Foster, that's what egalitarian looks like to the masses of women. I think you got it in your head that the women you went to Harvard with represent far more of your average woman than it actually does. Maybe the women you attended Harvard with are actually looking for partnership and they're okay with going 60-40 financially or 50-50 financially, or maybe they're not even opposed for the financial load to primarily be held up by them at 60%. Okay, but the masses of women are not that. That's why men are not doing partnership, because still to this day, men earn more than women, especially over the age of 30. especially once we hit over the age of 30. And yes, we understand, yeah, the women, because we're having children. Okay, cool. But we're not doing partnership, number one. Number two, if we're in a world now where less and less of us are getting married and less of us are having children, and we're going to tell women to invest in their energy in other things, their friendships, their network, um, their careers, then what I would inform men is not only to do the same, but all the little niceties that we forward to women that they don't believe that we do, all of the quote unquote kindness, gentlemanliness, you don't need to do that anymore. Ooh, goddamn. If we're gonna do partnership, and if everyone is everyone and there's no differences, then all of that should be out the window, right? Huh? Right? Huh. I'm glad that lady said what she said. I'm glad Kim Foster's talking the way she is. And yeah, Mr. Z downloaded. I made sure today. I was like, you know what? I never downloaded because I'm gonna play it for y'all eventually. Yes, we're gonna torture y'all. I never downloaded where she said no. Um, you don't get a wife, you get a partner. To the white guy that was on NPR. I never downloaded. I did it today. Huh? I'm glad that we're here now. What I would inform, or that what I would request, if y'all could please entertain Z. What I would request from the likes of FD and Foreign Man and whatnot, the Kim Fosters of the world, the T Noirs, the Julesies, the Not Beheaded Hoba, tell working class men and women, I'm saying overtly, don't imply or suggest it, overtly tell working class men and women, particularly the black ones, that they don't get wives and husbands, they get partners. And make sure to emphasize the difference. See, I'm going to give women this. I'm going to give women this. I think most black women, they're using the term partner because they think that they're trying to be inclusive with LGBTQ folks. They're trying not to be offensive to LGBTQ folks. So they're using the word partner interchangeably with husband and wife. And that's not what Kim Foster means. And her ilk, they know there's a difference. When they say partner, they're saying, yeah, y'all don't have the status and the money to do the wife husband thing. So to Miss Foster, I would say stop being a coward and overtly say that to even your subscribers, because some of them get it, but many of them don't. Some of them get it, but many of them don't. I would argue most of them are thinking that partner and wife and husband are interchangeable, and the reason why y'all are using the term partner is to be inclusive and not to be section off LGBTQ folks and make them feel, excluded from the conversation. Tell them the truth. And no, actually, we're saying partner because y'all see, y'all can't really perform that husband-wife thing because that's a exercise in kind of class elevation and da. Huh? Exactly. Exactly. Party partner. Right? Exactly. Huh? Oh boy. So shout out to Sarge Willie Pete, Miss Foster, y'all talking about this baby thing. Um, yeah, I first I just want to emphasize this to Miss Kimberly Nicole Foster. Y'all ain't gonna be able to scare the men. Just like you shout out to Jason Black, the Black Authority, who said, the buy dog and die alone. The women are like, okay, cool. If I can't get what I want, okay, cool. And I am prepared to watch y'all be like homegirl off of In Vogue and just do your van life thing and pretend like it's empowering. Do your Golden Girls thing and pretend like it's empowering, right? I'm fully prepared to encourage you to do your van life thing and pretend like I believe that you like doing it. Huh? While you out there in the cold. Huh? While you're out there in the cold doing your van life thing and watching videos from Kimberly Nicole Foster. Watching quote unquote think pieces, feel pieces from Kimberly Nicole Foster. Right? So you could get your good healthy dose of rage corn content. So you could be in those vans, in those cars, in those SUVs, giving black men the middle finger still. Right? Oh man. The women don't want to have kids. They don't want to get married. I love that damn article. Dude, women are giving American women are giving up on marriage. You mean after the men gave up on it? Or better yet, after the men said, oh yeah, America's not producing wives anymore. Okay, yeah, cool, we ain't marrying. And then decades later, the women, here come the women. We don't want to get married. Were the men trying to get married? I mean, the men are trying to get married, but the men realize that there's no wives, so they ain't trying to get married to the women that aren't wives. It was funny when Miss Foster thought she thought she ate. Well, the men, essentially, she's saying the men are like leaning more and more into tradition. I'm like, yeah. And if the women don't want to play ball, then cool, tell them to go munch on each other. Right? It was fascinating listening to her speak about how the women are going to grieve. Oh, you better believe it. Y'all just refuse to tell them. Nobody's telling women outright what's gonna come with this. Right? No one's telling them what's gonna come with this. No one. That the masses of y'all are not gonna be able to afford your test tube babies. Huh? Even if you can, that's not a guarantee because so many have to go back and try 2 and 3 times. Y'all don't got the money for that, particularly black women. Huh? You're not going to be able to shout out to Life with Bree. This is a young lady who realizes and who said it. Look, I can't make up for romantic relationship with platonic friendships. That young lady's what, 23, 24, maybe 25? We got grown ass people at the big age of 36 and 37 that think you're going to be able to do it, and they're miserable. Why they listen to Kimberly Nicole Foster? Okay, yeah, that's it. No kids, no man, nice ass condo, nice ass baby bins, go on girls trips twice a year, and that's it. Okay, yeah, that's it. All right. Huh? And let me read this super chat. I'm gonna start laying y'all up in a minute. And Cyrus Burke says, I'm late to the stream. Did you hear about how Nick called out Jason Whitlock? Yeah, that's what I was referring to. It was Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock for being a token conservative, and Jason danced around the issue. Yeah. Yes. I didn't watch his response though. I didn't watch his response. I'll check it out. Maybe we'll do a stream on it. Right. But I know about the issue. Yeah. And what I'm saying about the Hodge twins is, look, these people know, the Hodge twins know they're tokens. Don't ever get it twisted. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. They're not slow. There's not no Negro wake-up call that's going to change them. They have found their lane, and they're going to make money because they know that they'll be able to sell them corny-ass jokes and their quote-unquote conservative patriotism to racist white folks and anti-black folks. Every black person in America know there's a lane for them to talk crap about other black folks, whether they're on the left or the right. If you're on the left in particular, you talk crap about black folks who are either conservative, or you talk crap about black men who might be a bit more traditional. You talk crap about heterosexual black men, you mock them and make fun of them, and there's money for you there. And if you're on the right, You make sure to distance yourself from the masses of black people. You mock black culture. You regurgitate anti-black talking points. You insinuate or just outright say that black people have low IQ, horrible morals, bad ethics, huh? Culturally are deficient. And there's a lot of money for you over there. And the Hodge twins know. Jason Whitlock know. Candace Owens told y'all we already knew that's what she was on. Amazing Lucas told y'all we knew that's what he was on way back then too. You could see it with Jason, with Tatum, whatever his face is. I watched that video with him and his wife came out her goddamn no lip white mouth. Her no lip having ass white mouth and said, "Really, it's the black people that be prejudiced against." Oh no, oh was that him? It might have been him. It might have been him who said that. It's really the black people that be the prejudice. Wait a minute. Anti-miscegenation laws just got struck down in the 1967? 67, right? Okay. White men still ain't marrying black women, even though they know there's a nice chunk of black women that'll go. Okay, cool. White folks right now are in the Hodge twins comments talking all crazy about black people. All right, cool. Right? Candace Owens told you she was getting good money and they would encourage her to talk crazy about black people. This is a black woman married to a white man. Okay, cool. Huh? Amazing Lucas told you that white folks were encouraging him to talk crazy about black folks along with Tatum and Candace Owens. Okay, cool. And yet, people act like we're crazy. Huh. Yeah. And Cyrus, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? And let me read this one again from Guy Incognito. Guy Incognito says, Black Manosphere dudes act like voting for Trump will get black men something. I'm still waiting. Someone please explain Trump's genius to my simple ass. I think there's a number of reasons why black men voted for Trump. I think black men, part of the Black Manosphere, who did vote for Trump, I think it was a protest vote. I think there's remember there's also conservatives in the Black Manosphere. Clearly, as a matter of fact, I would argue the Black Manosphere leans a bit more to the right than to the left or centrist, but it's not off the table right for the most part. I think people were tired of being taken for granted by the Democratic Party. I think what Barack Obama and Kamala tried to pull with black men in specific left a bad taste in black men's mouth. I think Joe Biden back in 2020 saying, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, left a bad taste in black men's mouth. Once again, the lecture that Barack Obama tried to lecture those black men at that DNC center, which is a very good indication that they're probably going to vote for Kamala. So I would argue there's a number of reasons why black men voted for Trump. And some of it was just strictly out of spite. And I don't know how much I have an issue with that. I didn't vote for Trump. There's no way in hell. But I get it. Right? I get it. Right? So, yeah. And I think, shout out to Black Uru, I think his quote was spot on. I think black men made a calculus that voting for Kamala would be the tyranny of everyone. Voting for Trump would be the tyranny of white men. So you have the choice between voting for Donald Trump, which would continue the tyranny of white men, or voting for Kamala Harris would be voting for Kamala Harris which would be the tyranny of everyone but black men. Right? So black men would be under the thumb of LGBTQ folks, white women, non-blacks, black women, everyone. the purple unicorns, right? The elves, everyone, right? So yeah, I think there's a number of reasons. Kangaroo said, Z, you need a picture of the coon from South Park for these guys, right? Look, I get it. I get it. A lot of it's, you know what, people make they little $70,000 a year, and they don't get messed with by white folks every day, and they be skinning and grinning around white folks, and so they look at they like to pretend like they look at black people like, what are you talking about? These white folks aren't racist. You just don't want to work. Okay, yeah, that's it, right? I get it. And then you have recent immigrants, black immigrants I'm speaking of, and their children who mainly move into major cities where anti-blackness and like white supremacy moves different. And so they're like, wait, I've never had white folks being racist towards me. Bro, what are you talking about? You moved in the neighborhood, and then white folks started moving out. What are you talking about? You weren't ever really around white folks like that until you got to college. What are you talking about? Right? Like, you meet these like first and second generation like black immigrants, and you're looking at them, and you're like, bro, you moved to New York. What do you? Of course you don't. What? You live in LA, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Huh? Like, even when you live in New York, you live in like Queens or something. You like, like what? You live in like the nicer parts of Harlem. Like, you don't. What are you talking about? Like, y'all are not even around the white folks for them to even be racist towards you. For you to even say, well, white folks aren't racist towards me. Shut up. Right? What are you talking about? Right? Weirdos, bro. So yeah, but going back to Miss Foster and Sergeant Lupite, yes, this child thing is an issue. Yes, and let me say this, and I gotta give, I to be fair to Miss Foster, and I did have that thought. She said something along the lines of like, you look around and you see how rigged the financial game is, and you think to yourself, am I going to bring children into this world? Like, if you're seeing generational wealth and the wealth transfer to the uber wealthy. Think last year, or was it earlier this year? The 30 under 30 billionaires were all, none of them were self-made. It was all generational, wealth transfer. And Mr. Z had that idea once when I was working at one of the firms, and I spoke to one of the members of the board, and it was just like this intrusive thought, this just random thought that popped into my head. It was like, bro, you work for him. Are your children destined to work for his children? Right? And like, that idea right there will cripple you. If you brood on that idea too long, it will cause you to be like, how is my child supposed to compete with their child? Like, yeah, it happens every once in a while, right? Yes, we already know. But if you brood on that idea, oh yeah, it's gonna cripple you. It's gonna paralyze you. You will not have children, right? Look at Mr. Z doing the whole hopey changey faith thing. But yeah, if you just stay with that idea, and there's no faith, and there's no glimmer of hope, and none of that, oh yeah, you're not bringing children into this world, right? Especially when you watch the tax cuts that the Trumps of the world want to bring about to make the billionaires have even more wealth. Yeah, you're not. And so, is that one of the reasons why the young folks are not bringing in having children? I would argue. I would argue, yeah, that's one of the reasons. Uh, with that, I maintain that we are turning this into hyper consumerism and materialism, a neoliberal assessment of relationships, both platonic and romantic, has caused us to put a valuation and a number on everything, including our intimate relationships and whether we'll have children or not, whether we want to get married or not, and whether we will have children or not. And we're here, right? And we're here. Wow. So yeah, when she said that, yeah, it did. I had this idea that popped into my mind. I'm telling y'all about. This is like 2014, right? This is like a while ago, right? 2014, maybe 2013, somewhere around there. Was it 2015? No, I think it was like 2014, maybe. Yeah, maybe 2014 ish, early 2015, something like that, right? So yeah, and it will be paralyzing if you brood on it too long. If you live on a planet, if you live on a planet and live in a country, America, where 51% of all online sales, we're talking about in America, 51% of all online sales in America are conducted on Amazon. When you realize that, yeah, how rigged that is, when you realize what like the whole Facebook group that includes Instagram and whatever the hell else is like responsible, like it's borderline a monopoly outside of like Twitter, right? That's insane. That Jeff Bezos is worth some 400. Last time I checked, I think it might have went down a little bit, might have dipped into the threes. But last time I checked, he was like 400 and some odd $1 billion, right? 420 some odd $1 billion. Billion, right? So yes, that's cause for pause, right? With that, is that really the reason why y'all not having children? Or are y'all just throwing a temper tantrum because Chisel Chin Tyrone, that's 6'6", can have any woman he want and it ain't you? Huh? And Brad Bradington III, with the money and the lineage, talking about white men here, can only have one wife. He can only have one at a time. He can have a second wife after the first wife. Is that one of the reasons why y'all not having children? Is that Chad Channington III and Chisel Chin Tyrone, that's 6'6", can only have so many women? Huh? And the women are saying, you know what? Yes, I have this biological urge to have children and I want to be a mother, but that BMW X5 though, huh? And the condo in this neighborhood with this zip code. Just saying. Shout out to, once again, I said it the other day, someone in Kim Foster's comments who said, we when you do IVF, you could select for gender, and we should select for girls. And Mr. As I said before, wait a minute, y'all want to have even more girls? There's already 2 million more black women than black men in the black community. Y'all want to select for even more girls? Aren't black women screaming now about their lack of dating options and marriage choices because not enough white and non-black men are checking for them, and y'all want to have even more girls than boys? Wow, that ain't smart, right? But as I said, I'm covering these things because once again,
I love the game.
because I really do. And let me let y'all up and because Mr. Z got to do some things, and I'm gonna let y'all talk while I'm doing this. So here we go. All right, y'all. Link is in the link is in the chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. All right. Yeah. And yeah, so like I said, this week in Z News, what else were we talking about this week? Still college stuff. Yeah, nah. Mr. Z is for y'all already know Mr. Z want to go back to school. So Mr. Z is for folks going to school. But Mr. Z ain't trying to have student loan debt like this.
Thankfully, my student loans are in forced forbearance right now, but if you are delinquent in your student loans, just know that they just announced that starting May 5th, the government is going to start to go after those that have delinquent statuses for their loans. For others, like myself, who are in the SAVE program, what are you doing? How are you preparing for this? Are you trying to get out of the SAVE program if you're able to, or you're just waiting out all the legislation and see how that pans out? I'm in the student loan forgiveness program. I graduated in 2016 from pharmacy school. My balance at that point was around a little over 200,000, as you can see up there. With all the interest that has accrued since 2016, my loan balance is now over $300,000. So it's not an easy thing to just easily pay off, especially with the cost of everything going up, inflation, etc. So if you're in the SAVE program, what are you doing? Are you just waiting it out?
Nasty work, Vince. Nasty work. Go ahead. What's going on with you?
Hey, yo. All right. So I wish I could have listened to the first whole part of the session because
Thankfully,
but I wanna know last few things you just said. I want to make a comment on like how can people with so much education, just like how you talk about Kim Foster, and people wanting to use a railroad to have more girls, things like that, and everything. I'm like, it made me question, right? Will these individuals who have so much education, how come they're so piss poor at problem solving? They're very piss poor
Mm,
at making resolutions, fixing problems at work.
mm,
One of my
mhm.
premise, I think I've said this before, but I say this in my everyday life. Like we need new adults. We need better adults
I like that. I like that.
because the decisions being made fucking sucks. Like we need people who make better decision making, and apparently, education don't make you a good problem solver. You could describe things,
Uh,
and
mhm.
you could speculate, but let's look at how things play out. Like we need better problem solvers. We don't need more people who are educated who aren't really fixing problems because we're not really fixing problems. Apparently, we're kind of just like, acting like the problems are okay and justifying them and making
Mm.
cool terms about things and stuff like that. But we're not really problem solving. We're kind of making excuses for things and also silently kind of enabling bullshit and perpetuating bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if I'm gonna be fair to you, I think that especially when you talk about the man woman thing, and not just in
Mm-hmm.
the black community, I think we have decided as a society that only the people at the very top, really the top about fifth, maybe top quarter at most, but top about fifth are the ones that should enjoy the American dream, and all the rest of us will strive for it, probably fail at it, and pretend like you're okay.
You talking about the people who's
Mhm.
gatekeeping and kind of like not giving a fuck
I don't.
about nobody
I,
else? You talking about
I'm
them?
talking about the gatekeepers and everyone else. I think the gatekeepers, when you look at the Kim Fosters or the Chrissies, it's as if they're selling rage I'll use profanity now. They're selling, well, it's not profanity, but they're selling rage porn to women to like kind of keep them in their position,
Mhm.
right? While they go off and like have the experiences and get married and have children and travel and all this other stuff.
Man,
When the
look,
bottom like for 80% can't do that or are not doing that. Go ahead.
let me advocate for their behalf, because they might mean well, right? Let's say by chance, right? With quotations, by chance they mean well, right? What if they're just ignorant to the fact that that's, what they're doing? Maybe they don't know how much like damage that they're.
I would give you that if Kim Foster wasn't a Harvard grad. I would give you that
And
if
isn't her major African American studies?
it's Afro stuff, and so that means she know better.
She's too
That's all.
smart to
And
be so.
she reads and she reads and she's an avid reader and she listens to NPR and all of that stuff. She knows better.
She's
It's not good faith at all, Vince. I should have let you finish with that, but it ain't good faith. It's spite. Same
she
thing with Chrissy. Chrissy has a degree in marketing. It's not in good faith, bro. That's all. Go ahead, go ahead. I know it's good.
she's too smart to be that diabolical, and she's kind of like doing. She's kind of pulling a more polite bourgeoisie Cynthia G move.
Exactly. I would argue that. I would say you're exactly right. And especially when you really check out her stuff that she covered. Like I'm gonna play it eventually. But when she covered before Donald Trump's election and when you watch her and kind of her, oh, the misogyny Kim is coming out. Oh, let me, and she's doing like she's being extra sassy and attack. You could tell she's getting off. When she damn near jizzed her pants when she was like, oh, you can't have a wife. You got to do partner,
She
right?
wanted to destroy the community with a condescending tone.
And by the way, that wasn't a black man she was talking about. That was a white man, and she got off on saying you can't have a wife. You got to do partner. And I was glad she said it because I knew that they didn't use partner and wife or partner and husband interchangeably.
She
They meant
got
partner as in you can't be a wife or husband. Nigga, here go your partnership.
she got
Go
the
ahead.
spirit of Angelica Pickles.
Hysterical Rugrats reference, y'all.
That's why I see.
That's funny.
Well, once gay marriage was legalized, then partner was no longer about you know allowing for gay people to be considered married as well. Prior to the legalization of
Hmm.
marriage, because I think you said earlier that people were using partner as sort of a companion in their
Yeah.
language.
Well,
They were using
I'm
as a
trying to be
courtesy
inclusive. Yeah,
to
exactly.
as
Yes.
a courtesy to gay people, because partnership has served as the equivalent of marriage for gay people. But once it was legalized and gay people could freely marry, then that was no longer necessary.
But
And
Uru,
you're right, they are specifically using partner to say you're not worthy, or you do not possess the status of a husband. we
you don't
we are
qualify.
legally married, but you don't, in this relationship, in this marriage, have the status of a husband. And just as importantly, I don't have the status of a wife, because they also know that a wife has a particular status and a role too, traditionally and
Exactly.
historically. And that's not a position that they want as well. So it's
Right.
both, you're not a husband and I'm not a wife.
Yeah, well put.
What's a
From her type in particular with a certain level of spite. Like you can make me, and I'm glad Foreign Man in a Foreign Land did it. He said, and it's because the way men and women are supposed to perform, we just can't levy that on them the same way. Where it's I'm not him because you're not her. It don't work that way for me. So for them, it's I'm not her because you're not him. And so there's an anger there, right? So it's not just I accept the partner thing. I'm angry about it, but I'll take it, and then you gotta hear everything that comes with it, the spite. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, they know either overtly or intuitively when they refer to you as a partner, they know they're demeaning your status as a man. They know that. So it's a form of punishment, you know. Now you committed your treasury, uh, potentially risking your life, uh, your future with this person, and you're going in and they're essentially demeaning you every step of the way by asserting this partnership status upon you. It's a profoundly insulting thing, and the men know this intuitively. Even the most simple-minded men know this is a great offense and a great insult, even though they don't necessarily have the sophistication to describe it or whatever. They know it's an insult. All men intuitively know, biologically know it's an insult, and that's why many of them are saying, "Just fuck it, I'll just get the fleshlight or whatever and just go on with my life."
Hysterical.
Give me the
Not
doll.
not the flashlight. Go ahead. What's
Give
going
me
on,
the
Bruce Wayne?
doll. Give me the doll, please. Give me the artificial womb. Give me all the good text and let the hoes go extinct. Yes, I'm going to curse and I'll pay for this shit. Z, wait for your super chat. Curse bucket contribution. Fuck them hoes.
Hysterical.
If they can't get it right, let them go extinct.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, I don't even think it'll just take a few examples I mean, things are tightening rather quickly, and people can only save face for so long. It's only going to take. I'm seeing the reverberations around the internet where the tones is changing. The conversations is changing. So I think it's going to take a few examples of women, and then it'll be a different type of discussion. And it's going to be yet to see what Black men at large actually do. We know what we do in this space and those that are initiated, but it's going to be interesting to see what Black men do at large when the conversation kind of shifts and it's a more suddenly a more amenable women appear in front of us. Because I don't think they play crazy a lot. Because I realized the other day watching some TikToks, and Z, you need to stop being an asshole and trying to be mature and get you a TikTok, bro. Because it's a profound gold mine. But I was checking them out. I realized the other day a lot of this shit is women trying to be snarky and funny, and women really don't have a sense of humor like that. Or when women think women's sense of humor is kind of dark because it's not really funny, or their attempts at trying to be funny come off. They say shit a funny guy would never really say because it's taking it too far. It's not.
You know what is usually missing from female humor, and it's an important component of female humor: self-deprecation and humility. The greatest, if you think about the greatest humorists, the greatest comedians, your Richard Pryors, whatever, profoundly self-deprecating, profoundly humble people. I mean, beyond the point of, Richard Pryor was humble and self-deprecating in a way that was painful to. It was painful to watch how self-deprecating and how humble the late great Richard Pryor was. And most women just don't. Their vanity, they just can't. They can't do it. Most of them just can't do it.
You mean having people laugh at your expense? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, no, and exactly, and that is 100% probably what's missing out of that typically, because there are some women that can, achieve that level of introspection.
It's crazy.
And you immediately elevate them because, ironically, perhaps the greatest one of them over the last 80-something years, Lucille Ball, was profoundly self-deprecating. She was profoundly. Go back and look at Lucille Ball and how she treated herself. That's why she was so great.
Yeah, but that's what I know.
Carol Burnett. profoundly self-deprecating woman. I used to love to watch the Carol Burnett show. Profoundly self-deprecating. Gilda Radner, profoundly self-deprecating.
Self-deprecation and being able to be introspective and reflective like that is a key ingredient in comedy, to your point.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that just surfing, like I said, TikTok, I realized that a lot of rhetoric, some of the rhetoric be fueled out of women's attempt to be entertaining and funny and snappy and witty. And a lot of that is them. So they playing crazy in a lot of scenarios. When this shit really hit the fan and the reality really started to set in and these student loans start getting called in and bitches start getting really start getting hard to meet, it's gonna be some reason gonna set in.
Many of them will go homeless, man. Trust me. Too many of them.
Here's my concern with them, and this is something, because I don't trust. Again, and I'll always say this, I don't trust the system I see a lot of low level Shannon Sharp scenarios happening to a lot of men. I see a lot of what's going to happen is some brothers are going to, okay, let me see if I can work with you, and get scammed, the shit scammed out of them. They're going to pay off. They're going to help these women to pay off their student loans and all that kind of bullshit. And they're going to get scammed on the back end. That's what I see happen.
Divorce is,
go ahead, Bruce.
Lawsuits are the new divorces. Since y'all don't want to marry these hoes, they're going to file some lawsuit against you to get the money out of your pocket anyway.
But it seems
and watch those occupancy and residency laws. A lot of brothers are going to get hurt and scammed on these occupancy and residency laws. You move some woman in, especially if she has some kids, because they're going to try to protect those kids. So once you move some woman in your house and she got some kids, she got
you. Yeah.
Is one step before having roaches.
Right. That's funny. Damn. That's messed up, but it was funny. Right? It was funny. It was messed up. I tried not to laugh. I couldn't hold it. Go ahead, Compassion. Go ahead.
We're like in the middle of because like men at this point are avoiding clubs. They're at the point because like we well into that Me Too era where we.
God damn! I should have cut you off because that's what I was going to say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. Well, no, because I could see we was on the same page then. So that's what I'm saying. Like I could see men are already at the point where they kind of avoiding women in a certain level, at least from TikTok, from the women complaints across the board. It seems like it's starting to get to a significant percentage of men are actually avoiding women. And if it increases, if it starts to become just hit a lick wherever possible, that will increase. And I don't know what type of environment will it be where men are literally like at a significant majority avoiding women and avoiding any interaction with the women. Like where would that? I don't know where that goes because I don't think we've ever seen that before. Like humanity probably never seen that before.
That I can't even conceive that, honestly.
I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I think there's gonna be a fight with the elite on what the next step is, and you're gonna have the ones that say fuck it. We all we need is the productivity of any entity, and they're like, I don't care. Bring in the fucking bio bags. Bring in the gestation bags. Let these men fucking buy their children. Let the women who have the money buy their children. And there's going to be the others, probably more conservative or Christian, that say, no. We need to get these people back together. I think the elites are going to have a fucking street fight with knives out for where we go next. In the next couple of decades, when it's more affordable and viable to do that. I think within our lifetime, Compassion, it's going to happen. Because the next step, going to what you're saying, the men are avoiding the women. If we're not going to, bro, we all know what an erection feels like. You trying to tell me we said fuck it, I ain't going.
Ain't you describing transhumanism? Ain't that what they predict? We just basically where it's gonna be humans versus non-humans or non-biological or non-traditional humans.
That's not what he's describing.
Project Cyper.
That's not what he's describing. He's describing Rad Utopia.
Right. Well, yep. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that's a whole new territory then. Humanism versus, and I guess we are headed there with the AI with the shit we, like you said, once robots and shit start getting online and they get better and better, and this chat GPT shit just getting scarier and scarier.
Hot take. The rose is AI.
No, somebody said that. Somebody said that when I covered that months ago. Like somebody in the comments was like, "Hey, brother, no, actually, I said it. What am I saying? Somebody, I said like is it that are you the object or is the rose the object? Like the way y'all are speaking, like the rose is manipulating you. The rose got your mind gone, right? So yeah, it's funny you say that, but no. No, that to me is actually frightening. That we're at the precipice of a full detangling of men and women, and like I might be exaggerating with the full word for now, but I think within our lifetime we're gonna see a detangling of women and men, and I think marriage will be. What was the movie? What's the name of the movie? Was it Elysium? What was the name of the movie where the folks lived at and the super wealthy people lived in like these goddamn like sky mansions, right? Like you had to right, and like the whole story was that something like the husband and the wife was beefing, and they were like but you didn't find that out until the very end. That might have been a series. Was it a movie or a series? I can't remember. That I'm getting all my techno dystopian movies and series mixed up right now. But yeah, so what I found interesting is like the people down on bottom were disaggregated and everybody doing whatever the hell and whatever, but like when you got to that sky mansion, they were married and they had their kids, their adult children, but their kids in nuclear family. And I'm not saying it's only going to be the 1% doing that, but maybe the top 5-ish, 10-ish, maybe 15, right? So obviously like kind of what we have now, but exaggerated, where once you get into the like top third, those are the people that get married. The top 20 are the people that might get married and stay married. Definitely once you get in the top 10%, top 5, those people definitely tend to get married and stay married outside of maybe celebrities and like athletes or whatnot. I think that's going to be what's going to happen on an exaggerated scale. Because if we already see marriage has become a luxury item, then just take what we see now and tick that up a notch.
Right.
And I don't know how you sustain a society like that. It's gonna have to be them in the sky mansions, and like you can shut down the elevator and that shit's like damn near bomb proof. Because anything short of that, I mean, I don't see how you maintain a society like that.
And I don't think they want to marry their cousins anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, will it matter when marrying your cousin doesn't mean you have the Habsburgs?
Right. You can you can CRISPR their ass.
Yeah, exactly. You could CRISPR your children, your progeny, right? So will it matter? Right? So what you will have is damn near a reversal back to Egypt. That's all it is. That's all that is. I just described Egypt.
Egypt without the genetic fuck ups.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. For real. But it was Elysium, yeah. Thank you, Naga. Yeah. Damn, man. Yeah. That's yeah.
I mean, it might just be check and mate. I mean, honestly, it might be check.
I mean, I'm painting a very dark picture, and I don't know if it's going to be that dark, but it is something to consider. Well, it's a very dark picture, but yeah, go ahead.
Macro level, it's hard to see how this is going to play out at the individual level. That's what's the mystery. At the macro, we can see that if the dynamics are headed in this way, and it doesn't seem like the social designers it doesn't seem like they know how to reverse course or are willing to do what it requires to reverse course. So the logical conclusion is that this would just increase this separation between genders, and it will. And on the other side of that is, like you said, I don't know if how you sustain the society like we've known it up to that point. That's the at the macro, and I'm really
passionate. What really throws me off about all this stuff, right? A lot of this can be solved if you just gave niggas money.
I mean, it could. I mean, in a way it could, but I think it's deeper than that now. I think at this point, if you gave, I don't think the money would magically solve.
Well, what's the point of giving? What's the point of giving people money that has no value now, or is rapidly losing value? What's the
Well,
point? What does that cure? What
that,
does
that,
that actually cure? Now, don't talk, brother. Slow down. Think
I'm
about
sorry.
what I'm saying. What's the value of giving people money or giving people anything, giving people any sort of asset that is rapidly losing value, rapidly losing marketability, rapidly losing reach throughout the world? What's the benefit of doing that? What's the benefit to those people? And what's the benefit to the country?
Can I say
If you
Well,
something?
are real quick, and then you got to Bruce on Wayne. If money makes you more of what you are, and what you have now is a bunch of women, white, black, Latina, even Asian, giving men the middle finger, a whole lot of money is gonna do what?
Yeah,
Make them worse.
yeah. You
I'm
give
just
money to
saying.
a bunch of negative libertarians and conspicuous
Yeah.
conservatives. What are you gonna get? I mean,
They
I
will
think.
be liberated to extinction.
Yeah,
That's what I predict.
thank you. Shout out to Black Uru. When he
You
said
gotta
that, I was like, wait a minute, we went from liberate to madness to liberate to extinction. Well, damn.
you gotta get
But no,
yourself
I
some
agree.
seasoning salt, some of that shit that Bojangles got, some of the Grey Poupon for when you fancy, because this shit about to be cooked, bro.
Barbecue chicken.
and it's the
It's
only hope.
it's baked
And,
chicken.
and honestly, anybody, if it was going to be any type of social upheaval towards the elites and towards the corporate and toward any pushback, it would have to come from the millennials, the largest generation, basically right now. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it's hard to put a finger on, exactly what the millennials are capable of. So,
Mm.
Uh,
and that's
I mean,
yeah,
we're the first full ass because Xers got hit with it, but they weren't born into it. We were
mm,
born into, oh no, we're taking the union jobs away, so sell them materialism and hyper consumerism. We were born into that. The Xers came of age in it, but they weren't born into it. So it's like high speed internet. Millennials came of age into high speed internet, but we weren't born in high speed internet. Alphas were
exactly.
born into high speed internet. Gen Z, many of them, not all of them, were born into high speed internet. So
Born into
that's us
yeah.
exactly. Exactly easily accessible porn and everything. So that's us concerning. That's I don't know if we have the wherewithal, particularly the women. I think the men, because we have we as I think. I'm gonna just say that. Unfortunately, I think the men are popping a whole lot of shit, but we just want the women to come back home. And I think the Kim Fosters know we want them to just come back home. And I'm not just talking about race here. And they said no, bow.
Right.
so
Like for real.
from the
Go
millennial
ahead, go ahead.
standpoint, I, I think it's I think it's multifaceted. One,
Mhm.
we have bought into neoliberalism more than anybody else. If you want to hear bag talk and marketization and everything, just talk to a motherfucker that learned a little something about trading goddamn stocks and makes about 35K.
hey, leave me alone.
But more than
Go
that,
ahead.
though, I feel like we're overexerted and over hustled. I don't know too many people in my immediate family and friends network that are my age or close age contemporaries that only have one job. Most people I know have a
Now you're
job
talking
that
about me.
has some type of gig work. I mean, real talk. Even DoorDash is primarily what I've been doing to floating, but even I got like side hustles and shit that I do on top of this shit. Like everybody is fucking working. They're working their ass off, and when you put in together
Does making a
what
mixtape
they're
count?
doing, hey,
That's
you
always
making money. You put, I mean, a lot of people. I would say the average millennial is probably putting in about 60 to 70 hours a week.
Damn, you
and it's
describing me. God damn, better you describing my life. Go ahead.
and the problem with that better you is that, like you said, we're not really the first. I mean, we're mindlessly hustling, it seems like, in terms of at the masses. It's like it's not it's no sense of like this. We should probably do something to change this. It's just everybody
Well,
gets
look at
together,
how it was.
get together
Look
and
how we
figures
were
out.
advertised too. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, my thing is, I don't disagree with that. I think the motivation for the why is that some people have just been doing it so long that it's routine, but there's a lot of people that are just trying. This is their way of holding on, and their fingertips is about to give way. Like this is their way of not being thrown into the abyss of the streets or whatever else may come. So we as Black folks, especially as Black men, know all too well the economic precarity that can come from not having certain things. And even that, I think, is an animated principle for some brothers who do get it and have that John Henryism in it. Because I know some guys who they made it and they like, I ain't never going back to that shit. That shit is like a nightmare to them.
Well, I do think some hardcore examination has to be made regarding your priorities. And I'm not saying, I'm not questioning, your financial ethics, but you presented a woman who has been a pharmacist for nearly 10 years, right? I mean, you right? Didn't you see?
Yeah. 2016. She said 2016, and she was
Okay,
$200,000 in debt. Now she's three something.
What were you doing as a pharmacist, where your debt, where you paid none of the principal of your student loans to the point in which they've increased by 50% over the last whatever period of time, 10 years, or nearly 10 years, because she said she graduated from pharmacy school in
Yes.
2016. So, I mean, all this gigging and all this, the question I have is, for what purpose? Is it to get those fancy vehicles that Z often marvels about? Or, I mean, what's your real motivation for doing a lot of that? And
I want to buy me a
obviously
snow
that's
bunny.
going to vary from one man to the next, but I do think you have to look earnestly at why you're doing a lot of what you're doing.
I want to buy me a snow bunny.
Wait.
Did I get my money right? Y'all can't tell me nothing.
Let me say this. So a nicely loaded, not even fully loaded, but a nicely loaded Tesla Model 3 is like $50,000. Black Uru, I'm gonna say actually 55, 60-ish, 55-ish. But let me play this for y'all. This is what Black Uru was speaking about.
Thankfully, my student loans are in forced forbearance right now, but if you are delinquent in your student loans, just know that they just announced that starting May 5th, the government is going to start to go after those that have delinquent statuses for their loans. For others, like myself, who are in the SAVE program, what are you doing? How are you preparing for this? Are you trying to get out of the SAVE program if you're able to, or you're just waiting out all the legislation and see how that pans out? I'm in the student loan forgiveness program. I graduated in 2016 from pharmacy school. My balance at that point was around a little over 200,000, as you can see up there. With all the interest that has accrued since 2016, my loan balance is now over $300,000. So it's not an easy thing to just easily pay off, especially with the cost of everything going up, inflation, etc. So if you're in the SAVE program, what are you doing? Are you just waiting it out?
Don't say anything yet, everyone. Don't say anything yet. Here we go. Here goes something else. And that's nothing, because I can't find the one that was like 491,000. There's another one for like I thought I had it, but I didn't post it. But there's another one with 491. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
I know I know several pharmacists. They do very well.
They do.
For the last 9 years. Why has she been in forbearance for 9 years?
Well, that's what. That's
why would a pharmacist be in forbearance for 9 years?
Well, it speaks to what is the neoliberalism better you spoke to earlier. Millennials like her are getting. You asked the question, Uru. What are your goals? What is your motivations for working? What are you doing this for? Millennials are trying to travel, go to brunch, have a nice car, and maybe have a nice house or nice apartment in the city close to bars and events and shit.
Don't forget
Feeling what a
they want to
millennial
get tricked on.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
trick on if they can.
I mean, so what you're
I got one question
describing
for them.
is the financial ethics. See, you can't have this conversation without talking about the financial ethics of the people involved. And when I see someone who is a highly trained professional and has paid none of her student loans, I'm questioning her financial ethics and behavior.
No, I agree with that. I agree with the Protestant ethic sort of behind it. I mean, this is a Protestant nation, and so I'm all for holding people's feet to the fire when they make a decision. So
well,
I'm
no, I don't want to. I don't want to get religious. I don't want to get. It's not about.
Wait. Black Rule, wait. Nick Jama Bear, wait. We have elder privilege, so like we let Black Rule go or BGS when they go. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and then we'll let Black Rule finish up with what he's gonna say. But when Black Rule go, you pause, okay? All right, go ahead, Nick Jama Bear, go ahead.
No. Yeah, go ahead, Black Rule. Oh, I don't mean from a religious standpoint. I just mean Protestant work ethic, right? Because this is a Protestant nation. What I'm trying to get at is it's amazing that a black man can't go to a bank to get a $10,000 loan for his business, but if he says as soon as he wants to go to pharmacy school or whatever, they'll give him a $300,000 loan and hold his feet to the fire for the rest of his life to pay that off, right? But if you need a business loan, they're going to call you in every week. They're going to hit you up like, what's going on? And if you can't pay back, they're going to figure out ways to get that money, whether it's, like maybe we'll get a percentage of your revenue or whatever. So it's just amazing that they'll give someone $300,000 in loan, knowing that they're not going to pay it back, and they're just holding the bag. So there does seem to be a little bit of, it doesn't make sense to our financial institution that they would just give out money to people that clearly can't pay it back.
Well, the student loans are set up to be slave contracts, and this is how you know that
exactly,
because you can discharge a business loan via bankruptcy. You cannot discharge a student loan via bankruptcy. That's effectively a slave contract.
Thank you, fuckboy Joe.
And let me play this. I think I found the one I was talking about, and then you got it. Compassionate. And Bruce Wayne was trying to say something too. So Bruce Wayne and then compassion. But let me play this first. Here you go.
What the hell What the hell What the hell Barry?
That's a house. That's a house.
Well, to me, the more amazing detail there was not the dollar amount. It was the number of loans. There were 25 loans. My God.
First chick had 3. That's what struck me. Like that.
No, I have another one that says 50. There's one I don't know if I played it. It's 50 loans. Yeah.
It's a level of privilege.
But Black Guru. She was
that's
supposed to get
though.
married coming out of there 10 years ago. That what they was doing 15 years ago, 20 years ago. She was supposed to get married to some guy, and he would pay off those
but no guy is going to marry
her.
her. No guy is going to marry her, no sane man is going to marry her with her accumulating that level of debt. Those don't go together.
I got one question. But that's true, because the guys have woken up to the situation. But before, guys would marry her and think that, this is going to be a great thing. And then she got divorced after 5 or 6 years. And then he looked at himself and told his friends, don't do it.
Honestly, Uru, most men are not financially astute to even really care about a woman. Before Kevin Samuels,
unfortunately,
not even thinking about asking the bitch what her credit score was or what the money was. Honestly, like if I ask most millennial men, they're not really thinking about, damn, she got $200,000 worth of debt. What's that's gonna do to our prospect? They not thinking.
I know how. Real quick, let me say this, and then Bruce only got it. I know how much my sister has in student loan debt. I know how much my lady has in student loan debt, right? So yeah, I know how much I had before IRS took that shit, right? So that's something that I've been very aware of, and I think Kevin made it even more. I agree with compassion. Kevin made men think about that even more. But yeah, go ahead, Bruce on Wayne. Because if you don't go, we ain't never gonna let you go. Go ahead.
All right. What's up, Coach? Do you believe me now? Do you believe me? Nah.
He's not here.
Do you believe me now? So my question is, are they ready to drop it for 40? I'm ready for it.
They said the
I
price.
got
bro.
$40.
They said the price at
$40.
It
You
ain't
don't
even
care
40.
about yourself if you're dealing with that.
Hey, let me read this from Eric Devon. Eric Devon says, and thank you for the super chat. It's not about money, but more social status with women. I agree with that. I agree. I agree.
Those
I
two
agree.
things are
And thank you for the
correlated.
super chat.
I mean,
No, you're right. I agree with that too. They are correlated.
To women, they correlate the two as interchangeable, so they inextricably linked as far as they're concerned.
Well, and I don't think, honestly, this our society does a bad job of telling us sort of what to do. I mean, there's vague things. I think most of these women don't have a clue about what they're doing, right? Like there's some status, and I know I'm supposed to go, and I'll just go, and it'll happen, and they're not thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the society encourages that. Hey, just go, take the loan, and you won't think about it.
They do. They manifesting.
Manifest, right? and because the thing with the pharmacy thing, because I've worked with people like that in tech, where like he's sending his wife to become a pharmacist. I mean, it's not just getting the degree; then she's got to become a pharmacist. So you got to wait for that amount of time. So it's like you have to be married because he's paying all the bills. And guess what? As soon as she became a pharmacist, she's paying all that back right away. Like you guys are still living on the cheap. All of that money is going back to pay her loan. Right, because he's not going to be on the hook for that. So it's a tag team effort. You can't anyone who's doing that on their own is sort of crazy.
A plan that the man making up? What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
No. So this the status thing. Look, I really want to emphasize this. We were in those classes, especially us as millennial black men. We were sitting right next to them. No one was overtly telling them, get this degree to make up for the man you ain't gonna have, because we know you ain't gonna have him, right? With that, that's what was implied and suggested. Like, go to school, don't worry about no boys, and like, maybe if you're a white woman, it was like, don't really worry about them like that right now. But you'll mess around in college. Maybe you'll meet one in college. You'll have the ring before spring, right? And you'll meet them in your career. And like, if we're gonna be a bit sympathetic to the ladies, just a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, they were sold a lie. They were sold a lie. They wanted to believe it though. They wanted to believe it. But yeah, no, they were sold a lie. They were sold a lie.
Guess what? Within the lie, guess what else that was still told within that lie?
What was that?
You might still have to settle.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So
that wasn't told at all. I think they left that part out.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
You know what? For black women, maybe. I'm not sure for white women.
No.
For black women, maybe. Yeah.
You can have whatever you want. You can manifest
it. And that's why I played this clip right here. Where is it? Do I still got it? Oh man, there it goes.
But my thing is, like, I don't understand the obsession with trying to make black women settle so much. Y'all don't do this with any other community. Like, seriously. Y'all don't do this with any other community. Do y'all tell white women that they should settle? Because last time I checked, anytime a white girl marries a black man, it's always when he's at his best and when he's rich as hell. You think Kim Kardashian was going to marry Kanye while he was broke and didn't have any money? You think Kanye would have had a chance with Kim then? Or you think Kanye had a chance with Kim when he was a multi-million-dollar rapper? Let's be real. Like, y'all don't say this to any other group but
actually
us.
inaccurate.
We're tired of settling.
We're
tired.
Dumb yitch. Kanye was $50 million in debt when he was
53.
When he married Kanye West, and when he married Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is why I want to play that. This is why I want to. The reason why I played that is to emphasize black women think they're the only ones being told this. That's why my anger at the technocrats or whoever the hell who the days are, whoever they are, the tastemakers that are sent out there to spread the message, is nobody told them, hey, by the way, the new deal is maybe you don't get to be with the man that earns as much as you or that is quote unquote educated on your same level. Maybe, and that's why I keep on playing Anne-Marie Slaughter. Maybe you might want to readjust the way you think about these things. Now, here goes Black Uru, and here comes Kim Foster. That's why Kim Foster's his partner. That's why she's his partner. Because she's, by the way, whoever asked in the comments where she graduated from, I think it was Els Active. She's a Harvard grad.
Somebody
and so she knows. But this is the thing. She knows that's the message, and that's why she's his partner and not wife. Because she's spiteful about it, but she refuses to say it though. Go ahead, and then go ahead.
What was her major again?
Afro studies.
I always gotta ask that because she know better.
I mean,
yeah, but Afro studies informed by like radical feminism, though.
I was gonna say intersectionality is a hell of a drug, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
We need to take the cotter pin out of intersectionality.
If you
wait. Compassionate, add this too. And you gotta add this too. Resentment at the niggas that didn't choose you in high school. That's why you had to go to prom with the white boy.
Well, that makes intersectionality even more right. It explains a lot. Then, if you accept it as a premise, you start.
Oh, am I bored? Compassionate, you got it. If I'm bored, go ahead.
Yeah. No. You start. If you start with intersectionality from a baseline, and you accept that premise as a true premise that you're at the intersection of race, class, and gender, and all that shit, and you're a double minority, you got it harder than everybody. It justifies why the niggas didn't pick you for prom. It makes sense out of everything. So she actually, I'm not sure if she knows better. She's studying African American history and studying everything through a lens of the intersectional premise, which is essentially been the problem this entire time. They don't believe it's a lie. A lot of these things, they believe these are just logical conclusions to the reality of intersectionality. Even if they don't know it, it's woven into the entire curriculum of higher learning in academia for like the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but what happened when they're shaped like boxes? What are they supposed to do with them?
You said what? When they
what happened what happened when women like what's her name? Kim Fawcett are shaped like boxes? What are supposed to do with them?
You take them on a gym date.
Can't do it. Cannot play with them. Cannot coach with them. Cannot win with them. Can't do it.
Hey, look, there's a lot of fat butts can be made out of women who just need to do a lot of cardio. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah, but she's arrogant, man. She's obnoxious.
I'm not talking about Kim
What
Foster.
are we doing with it?
I'm not talking about Kim Foster. I'm talking about the others that we could probably, Kim Foster. She a rat.
Let me say this to Vince in particular. Vince, aren't you in the DMZ the DMV area?
Yeah.
So you're in the home of the highly educated, single as hell black woman.
Yeah.
Am I right? Thank you. All right. And some of them sisters are fit and they still single as hell. Am I right?
Yeah.
Attitude. There you go. That's all I'm saying. Attitude.
It all began in attitude, but it's like it's the reason why. Like I feel like men need to be more understanding of the situation and start saying stuff like, "Dang, you too expensive for me." And like
I told y'all need to start saying that. I beat it too.
It like people have to be aware of their repulsiveness. If not, they just gonna think that they're not like people. A lot of people lack self-awareness and self-understanding. If things are working for them in a way, but because a lot of people aren't circumspective or reflective on themselves, they think that that's just how it's supposed to be. Like girls who are mean girls think they're just supposed to be mean girls, and things supposed to happen like that, and like there's no change. If nothing intervenes in your behavior and you're getting rewarded or whatever like that, you're not thinking about the cost. You're not thinking about you're not thinking about changing until something happens. You're just going to just be a repulsive asshole until you start realizing, oh, this isn't working for me. And unfortunately, people get old and they get old and they realize that this didn't work for me. That's when they start being all kind and gentle or whatever. But till then, just a ravaged asshole.
But if I'm able to, as a young man, get by in life without having to raise some grown woman, I mean, why would I be particularly motivated to do that? Why would I be motivated to to say anything. I mean, that's why you have in many instances, men are
And
avoiding these dating shows and or these scenarios where the black women are in the club and all the black men just go to the non-black women. I mean, what they're basically saying that, look, I mean, you're not worth the trouble and you're not even worth the potential hassles I might get from dealing with you. It's just much easier and more
and
convenient for me to just avoid you altogether.
and that's why it doesn't happen. That's why it happens the way it does.
I want to say this
No,
too.
but what I'm saying is, what's the value of how are you going to convince the men that it's valuable and necessary for them to do that?
That's why we're in the situation we are, because they kind of already be like, the good was it good for the stroke,
Let me say this. As we've all heard this. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That goes to what Black Rule just said. If everything I say is misogynist and sexist and fat phobic and whatever the hell, and it's a room full of sisters and a couple of white girls and they might be choosing and they environments with black men and they might go, then guess what? Like, why would I walk up to you and I'm afraid of nuclear rejection and you might be more likely to nuclear reject me? And this is frightening. Like, as a black person to a black person, you're more likely to nuclear reject me than the white girl is. Not saying she gonna go.
Have you ever had a discussion with a woman and you're trying to have an earnest discussion and you're trying to in every way be, cordial and accommodating and empathetic and understanding. And the more you attempt to be accommodating and affable and amicable, the meaner she gets, the more hostile she gets.
Yes.
Have you guys ever had that experience before?
Yes.
I know you've had that experience before. I've had that experience before. And so what happens is eventually the men invariably say, why am I talking to you at all? It does not matter what I do. This does not matter what I attempt to do with you. It's not going to work. You're just going to be creating more problems for me. The police might get involved, all this kind of nonsense. I'm just better off staying the hell away from you.
I don't know.
And I might go upside your head too.
I'm a little
Listen,
different.
Haitian, we can't be staying on the channel. God,
we do not promote
act like we back
punishment.
home. Thank you.
We do not promote corporal punishment, okay? But however,
listen, Ike.
I do believe in the uppercut of truth,
Bruce
though.
Wayne are his and his only.
Yeah.
Thank you, better you.
Wider, Mrs.
Disclaimer. Yes. But like I said, I do believe in the uppercut of truth.
Shout out to Street Fighter. Anyway, that's what Vince was talking about. Vince was talking about Street. No, he was talking about Mortal Kombat when you do the get over here with Scorpion and then you uppercut. Now everybody knows the tried and true combo. That's what Vince was referring to. That's what he was referring to. Thank you, Vince.
Yes, but you do it verbally because at some point someone have to actually get a little bit of truth into them, even if they don't like it, even if it costs the relationship. Because someone said this, I think it was the Roger Report. Sometimes
you said some of them got to get some truth into them. When did we start talking about Triple X stuff? I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
But sometimes you have to say some things because it probably benefit the next man. You should probably get some act right and start realizing, look, that's why we said, you might not have enough money. You might, even if you can afford it, I can't afford you. And you start thinking like, what the, why isn't my social math working? Like, it's only upon reflection after we also gotta be mindful that a lot of the population that we deal with is very myopic, very short thinking. If I could throw these clothes on, make my ass look fat and make my hair look good, someone want to come talk to me. But if my attitude's some bullshit and I'm just sitting here wow, I look so good, but it's so desolate here.
Let me say this. I think because Black Uru brought this up months ago, and the curse of black women that actually really age well, and even for the sisters that might be a teeny chunky, right? Or they on that borderline, right? The borderline chicks. We all know the borderline chicks. But you better don't eat one more. You better don't eat one more burger, right? But the what the curse that they have is the melanin plus the lotion, right? And so why would they ever change their mind when this is the thing? By the time they realize that men ain't messing with them like that no more, particularly black men, she's already 43. Now what? You see what I'm saying? Like the white girl realized the varicose veins, or she realized the lines around her eyes early. She knows she got to get out the game early.
No, the white girl knows even before she starts seeing the lines. She knows that 2 or 3 years from now, those lines are going to start showing. So they don't wait until the lines start showing. They start making decisions before the lines start showing, because they know once the lines start showing, then they're running up a treadmill at that point.
The wall is undefeated.
It's the cellulite that start to show first.
I would say the warning sign is when they try to bounce on it and it sound like a pack of Rice Krispies. It's not
when they start to sound like a pack of Rice Krispies. Go ahead.
I say the warning sign is when she's trying to bounce on it and it sounds like a pack of Rice Krispies.
Hey man,
like
they're supposed to, man.
I mean, the other problem with black women. The other problem with black women is the ability to manipulate their image by way of the beauty industry. The beauty industry is a curse for black women, because when you combine the unique natural beauty of black women, the durability of their beauty, the durability of their physicality, with all the tricks that you can do with hair and makeup and eyelashes and all that stuff, it extends the vanity of the women to a point of self-delusion, and cognitive dissonance.
But what's the other word that they use? Like it's a word. I know you ain't thinking about it right now. I'm gonna say it. Attitude.
Well, I don't have look. Here go a prime example. I don't have to have a good attitude if I'm Lisa Ray. If I'm Lisa Ray, when do I ever get some act right?
But think about it. Looking good also implies you gotta have attitude, which is also looked at a positive thing, but in actual play and social intercourse.
Man, Lisa Ray is 50, Vince. Lisa Ray is 50, and she's still talking about $250,000 a year dues. Man, if you don't go end up with the dude at Walmart and shut the hell up and get off our screen.
And that's because she can put on her hair. She's naturally beautiful woman. Her beauty has endured at a baseline level, and she can augment it through all the tricks of the beauty industry, so she can still look in that mirror and still take those pictures and look like a beautiful woman, a marketably beautiful woman. And that's a part of the problem. That's a huge part of the problem, because you never feel as though at some point you got to get out of the damn game. You got to get off the damn stage at a certain point. Even Michael Jordan had to retire. At a certain point, everybody got to get off the stage.
Gentlemen, did y'all see that Tyra Banks? She was her man. Tyra Banks was on, I think, NBC on a talk show, and she showed her man. And
she's still with the white dude?
She's with this white dude, yeah. Short white dude. I think he graduated from her. He runs her ice cream company. I mean,
it's not the same white dude she had the kid with then.
No,
it's the same white guy. No, this is another one. Okay, there you go.
Another one.
Right.
And he looks nothing like.
I'm sorry, runner. I'm laughing at you, Tyra. You better believe I'm laughing at your dumb ass with your big ass forehead. She's cute though. She's cute. Well, she was cute. Wait a minute. So let me get this right. Let me wait. Turn around. I'm definitely gonna let you finish with this story, but I gotta get my chuckles in. Let me get this right. Tyra Banks said she was fighting to be with black men, but we wasn't working with her. She had the baby with the white guy that she married. I think she ended up marrying him. I don't remember. The chiseled, he wasn't even chiseled chin white dude, but okay. So you trying to tell me she with a short ass white dude now?
Short, no chin, a soft looking white dude. older than her, like maybe must be about a 60-year-old. It didn't look good. No, they don't look like a couple.
She married her small hat business manager. You see a
There
lot
you
of
go.
over the years. You see
There
a
you
lot
go.
of black
There you
women
go.
in the entertainment
Doing
business
that.
who done the same thing. Your Lena
Thank you.
Horns, all
Thank
them
you.
kind of people. They did the same
Popular
thing.
new music.
Well, she
Go.
belongs.
Let's do this. Because I cut off. Turn around and finish with that, and then you got no place on it. You got it. Go ahead.
No, I mean, pretty much you said it, see, but it's like this girl who was, just another one of these girls who can have anybody they want, all these opportunities, and then end up where she got. And she talked to him like a kid. She talked about him in
Oh
front
no,
of this white girl. It was bad. She played him out. She
I'm gonna look
played
him
him.
up.
yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
not.
look him
Look
up.
him up.
Thank you for the
He
name,
was all.
Revelon. Thank you.
I'm looking
Yeah.
right now. They're not married, and the kid
No, that's
not
her man, but
his.
that's her man. She
Yeah,
said that's her
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And she
Nevertheless, yeah.
played him. She said, I'm gonna talk about him. And she called him out. She played him like a sucker too. In front of
By the
everybody.
way, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that's what they do when they felt like they settled for you. That's what we're talking about right there. That's why Mr. Z is like, hey, don't settle for me, bro. Don't settle for me. because that's what happens, and it don't matter the money. It don't really matter the status. If she felt like she settled for you, that's what you get. Thank you for letting me know that. That's exactly what you get when she felt like she settled for you. But she went from the baller ass brothers, right? Probably had a chance with Will at one point. Then she go mess with he wasn't really chisel chin, but he wasn't necessarily ugly white dude. Now she with which y'all telling me is a short white dude that man soft looking. Yeah, that sounds right. Exactly. Pathetic.
And this is
Anyway, go ahead.
Tyra.
No placeholder.
Tyra Banks was a supermodel, just for perspective.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
Tyra Banks. This is the top of the food chain as far as physical aesthetic in the black female hierarchy. And this is what she's resorting to. So I say they mothers failed. I mean, black
there you go.
Mothers, several generations of mothers failed the previous generation. I was telling my girl this the other day. Like y'all mothers, essentially, y'all gonna have to. It's gonna come to a point where
after this, y'all gotta let no placeholder go. But go ahead, Compassion. Finish with that.
Yeah, my fault.
No, go ahead, Compassion. Finish your points. I'll jump on it.
Yeah, no, their mothers have failed them to such a degree that they can't navigate. They don't have the sophistication to navigate any dating market or any suitors at this point. Clearly, because at the top of the food chain, they don't even have the skills. And I think
I agree.
said in my shorts recently, like they don't have an elder class. Like black women don't have an elder class guiding them, like y'all spoke to about how white women navigate beauty as they get older. You know, every woman, every culture now they have that problem, or they have that problem to solve or navigate. And they have a syntax and a way of going about it. Like you said, they leverage it early as possible. They don't fuck around. They don't delude themselves into surgeries and all that shit till they're 50. Because they have some elder class that guides the younger women to some type of way of moving through life. Black women don't have that. They're just like survivalists.
Hey, Compassion. Let me acquaint you all with something that used to happen. Now you know how we talk about chisel chin, Tyrone, 6'5", that the pretty boy black guy, right? Or super dick, that kind of thing. When I was coming up, elder black women specifically warned younger black women about pretty boys, about bad boys. That they regularly warned and prohibited black women about that kind of thing. And they did it for the very reasons we talk about today, because of all the chaos that comes from the women, prioritizing those kinds of traits over other more valuable traits over the long term. So when you talk about when you were mentioning the wisdom of elder women, those kinds of things would be prominent parts of that particular kind of wisdom that convince maybe the majority of women to avoid making some very big long-term mistakes. But as you say, because you no longer have that class of elder wisdom, female wisdom, we see and observe a lot of the consequence of that. And we've seen that for several
But they're
generations.
still there, though.
Yeah, but let
But
me read this in, and
there's
you got it. You got it. Bruce Wayne, thank you for the super sticker. That's his profanity super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Go ahead. No placeholder. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying, they're still there. These women, these older women, quote unquote, granny class, are still there. They're physically still there. They're just not providing the same service. And I think the reason why they don't provide the same service because they were the orchestrator of the undoing of the family in the first place. Saying they wanted that.
But no,
You're saying,
they're not. When I
okay,
say elder class, I'm just not talking about old women. I'm talking
Right.
about
that's what
women
I'm trying
who
to say.
do what elders did. No, I'm saying there
Indeed.
is no elder class. You just have old women. There is no elder
Hmm.
class. An elder, in the word elder implies wisdom, and that wisdom is not being communicated. So they don't
Indeed.
exist
Indeed.
anymore. They just don't
Well,
exist anymore.
yes, I wanted to say that I agree with that it doesn't exist, but I also want to say I think it's as a result of willful. They did not want to propagate what we consider to be quote unquote useful to the next generation of women. They just didn't want to do that shit. And I made an example of that multiple times when I talk about my mom who grew up in a house. My mom is a homemaker and did all these things, and none of my sisters can do any of that stuff, bro. They purposely atrophy things that they don't want to pass on because they don't, whatever reason, they just think the men deserve it. They don't
They
want to
see it as
do it because they're
liberation, bro.
lazy.
It's
Go ahead.
liberation. They had a whole movement. I mean, I was having a conversation with a group of chicks the other night about this. At this point, their mothers, and these are millennial women. Their mothers, parents, they come from two-parent households, but their mothers all divorced their fathers. It was three chicks. All of their mothers divorced their fathers and raised them as single mothers. And now they're single mothers, but they don't have that background of a two-parent household at all. When their mother did, but to your point, placeholder, I guess are all our points. They're engineering. They've engineered a situation where they've lost any semblance
Yes,
of
they
or
didn't want to go
elder.
back. Compassionate. They didn't want to go back, and they were aware of it, and they didn't want to go back. So that is why they did what they did. They wanted to make it not possible for the next generation of black women to be homemakers. So there was like, we're gonna give you niggas these type of women, and you're gonna have to take them. I'm saying, and
They
that's basically what
That
they
framed it
saying.
as liberation. They
let,
framed it as
let me let me
Yeah.
liberation.
say this, and that is what I mean when I talk about that partnership thing. And you're not gonna make us eat that. See and this is why I have sympathy for the Xers, because the Xers got sideswiped by that shit. Xer men, black men in specific, got goddamn 18-wheeler sideswiped by that shit. Intersection 80 miles an hour, right? And so that's why I have a bit of sympathy for them when it comes to that.
The Great
Go ahead.
Society was initiated in the mid '60s. So
Yeah.
that Gen X, that's when Gen X was born.
Came of
Born in
age,
the
yeah.
mid '60s.
Oh,
So they were born into a world of all those changes, of all the welfare state, of all the second wave feminism, bra burning, all those the children. And I was kind of on the cusp of that, being just a little older than them. So I technically lived it as well. I lived much more really as a Gen Xer than I did as a boomer because of because of my relative close age to that. So but yeah, we were all in the midst of a lot of wild shit that was going on. And then when I went to HBCU, the feminism was really going crazy then. So it was, and we were all reacting, because it wasn't like we knew it was coming. It wasn't like we knew we were being pussified or all that. It was just there in front of us.
You
Let
say
the girls in first. Put the girl. They would put the girls in first, and they would present things a certain kind of way to quote protect the girls. And it was a whole lot of that programming going on, and it made sense to a young person, because this is all you're hearing and seeing. So it appeared to make sense, but you don't know or what the effect of that is going to be over time. But we're living it now.
But
Go ahead, Compassion. You're trying to say something.
Go ahead, Compassion.
Go, and then you got it after that too. Go ahead, Compassion.
Basically, like I could imagine hearing essentially what would become, dominance patriarchy that you were that you're walking into an environment with this culture emerging where, you know, men are you paying for this dominance that you've had over women apparently, and these narratives are now being accepted as you know, as essentially revelations, like revelatory. You know, women are now for the first time being able to, you know, be, you know, manifest destiny on their own and not be dominated by the men who were squeezing them out. And it's just, I could imagine in the beginning of that, that's a total.
Wait. Let pause right there. Pause right there, compassionate. What example did you just give? You said manifest destiny.
Yeah.
What exactly was manifest destiny?
Conquest.
Thank you. I think you used the right word. I think you said it. You didn't even realize how impactful what you said was. I was like, wait a minute.
When you start to get under, we've already kind of done a lot of, UG and them have done a lot of the work. You realize a lot of dominance feminism underpinned, you know, what a lot of what we saw as the mainstream feminism. It really was about conquest in terms of the narrative they were using from a dominant feminist standpoint is that this is a record. This is us taking our piece of the pie finally. So absolutely what they were saying it the whole time and gaslighting you simultaneously. So yeah, so I can imagine
the beauty of and also the beauty of manifest destiny was you coupled that with the white man's burden. Where, it's my bird. I'm going to civilize you, and I'm going to conquer your land, and I'm going to do better with it than you can. I'm going to till it, right? And it's my burden to civilize you, really crush you, take over your shit, steal your shit, and murder you. But that's the framing.
Go ahead. A neoliberalist tilt, neoliberal, hyper-consumerist, capitalist, you know, get it how you get it by any means necessary type of spirit on top of all of that, and you can kind of see where we are now. And like y'all was speaking to earlier about because essentially that's why I say like millennials. I always say millennials are the only hope to course correct, because if we let this shit continue too long into the Z's or like our age, then it's probably super cooked because we're just too. I think it'll be too far removed from anybody having these having the capacity to really even have these conversations and look at it kind of objectively. And it seemed like they got us so ass out to the market and scrambling to survive, like Better You was saying, and just gigging ourselves and trying to get to it as best we can. That I think they just waiting for us to play the clock out till you can't do shit.
I do see what you're saying about millennials being the last hope because I played something when I was playing Sagar and Crystal, and Sagar said something like, if JD Vance Dim project doesn't work, they could see Gen Z being the most neo-libbed out people. And I think what maybe I should have maybe had BGS consider is not in material. We're not going to have the material. You're right. Like America's not what it was.
Neoliberalism cannot be what it previously was. You know, all that consumerism, all that gangstering, everybody else's treasuries and whatever. You can't do that shit no more. You're not going to have neoliberalism the way you had it in prior generations. This
is what I'm. But
techno-feudalism.
No. That's what I'm. So I'm talking about aspirationalism that's not met. And imagine you came up, you were raised in this too as Gen Z, right? You have this idea of like what you're owed and what life you should live, but you won't ever get there. And like for the masses of us, that's the case, right? Most of us, you're not going to win the lottery or become a billionaire or hundreds of millions. But imagine if you don't get it, and that's the ultimate goal, and it's that or nothing. Like so, when I hear Sagar say the most neo-libbed out, I'm thinking about the consumerism without the money.
No, it won't be. It won't be nothing. It'll be what was it? Schwab or one of the banks said they will rent everything. I can Z's.
I saw that. I saw that.
I got Z nephews, and they don't want houses. They don't want to get married. They don't want any of these.
They want the Hellcat.
They will be cool with low key renting everything. Like dude was saying, we millennials heard that and said, "What the fuck you talking about? Rent everything? I want a house." Like,
so I get what you.
gotta,
Let me put everything on a subscription service. I couldn't get the word out. I'm telling you, like,
think about how far along we already are with that. We don't own music and shit no more.
Wait. Let me make BG let me make Black Guru mad real quick. 4 payments for your $15 Burger King.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, financing your Burger King.
Bro, you can
alone for order BK.
You can have a preloaded subscription to Starbucks where you just pull up and then it automatically, it's already paid for. Like, bro, it's already we already in the trenches of that. But
you're right.
To up the ante on that, it'll be techno feudalism. It'll be a whole the Z's will be motivated totally different than us because we're too busy. We're not even having kids and shit. We're too busy. We're on some other shit. I don't know.
Let me say this compassionate because y'all real quick. At 4, we have, I ain't gonna incriminate myself. It's a hard stop at 4, so we good for the next 45-ish minutes. We good, free conversation, whatever. But 4, it's a hard stop, like hard. I gotta end out at, well, actually maybe a minute before 4. So let's say 3:59. But yeah, hard stop, super hard stop. But go ahead, we good. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it just I mean, it like you say, you're correct, Uru, that it won't be this hyper consumerism shit is probably ran its course, and we won't be able to exercise a model like that anymore. But the next best thing, I think they've already planned for that. They've already said, okay, that's gonna run out, and we just gonna the Z's, we gonna double down on them because my girl works in corporate at Lululemon, and they're obsessed with the Z. They don't focus on the millennials. They're trying to capture the Z market, and they're one of the biggest, luxury fashion brands in the world. So the Z's, they already got their sights set on the Z. You think they did a number, that Hannah Montana shit Z you be playing? You think they did a number on us? These little niggas got TVs in every palm of their hand, and an infinite amount. They got an infinite scroll.
Screen in every hand.
You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, and then you got to play focus. Screen in every hand, and everything is an advertisement to a rental service of some kind when they don't own it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It was itemized, bro. They itemized us with TVs and them fat ass monitors that the PCs used to be on. These motherfuckers have iPads and AirPods and Apple Watches. Apple Watches got you can be on IG on the Apple Watch with the infinite scroll. Like, bro, the Z's are they already got they ran the play on millennials and it half worked. But now they can run the full play on the Z's and the millennials.
Gen Z, y'all 2.0. Go ahead, Pat. Go. I'm placeholder. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're gonna run the entire playbook because my children, I'm messing with a generation, but I have 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, but so I don't really know what generation they are. So
they might be alphas. Are they alphas? They might be alphas. Yeah.
But yes, they're working on them. So I have to. I mean, my 6-year-old son, man, he watches this stupid thing called King Zippy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to name other people, but yeah, and it's
you good. You good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes them stupid, man. It's ridiculous. It's like the only thing they seem to be showing to the boys is ridiculous men doing ridiculous things. I've been watching them because there's only one in my house. As you know, I'm an IT person, so there's the only TVs that anyone can watch are the ones that are in the living room that are on. Like you can watch anything you want to watch in the living room. That's it. Every other TV in the house is locked down. In more ways than one. So when they can watch stuff they want to watch, they would have to watch it in front of us. So I've been watching what they've been watching. I'm like, Jesus. They're saying, I have not seen a single example of what a man should do. They're saying, when he, it's just dumb shit after dumb shit after dumb. They're saying,
think about it, there was no concept of screen time when we were growing up because there wasn't that many screens. Now I got a 2-year-old, and you know how incredibly hard it is to keep him off of a screen of some sort because they designed to be so addictive and effective. So they're cooking them from 2 years old, and we're a lot more conscientious than most parents about that. Most of the parents I know, kids live on phones and iPads constantly. So again, they're being cooked, and the Z's they're being cooked even more than we were, and the A's, the alphas, will be. I don't even know what they'll be if this continues. And it looks, I don't know what, at some point, maybe it'll hit a head. Maybe millennials will get sick of this shit because I don't know how much we can gig gig ourselves into, you know, these delusions of hitting milestones when we're not hitting them. Because and we're going to be set back even more with these student loan shit, or especially the women. So it's just going to be it's going to be interesting to see how people adapt, if we adapt, or how we adapt.
They're not going to fully institute that student loan thing. They'll crash the economy if they.
I was thinking that Elon has to be in there saying, but that will crash the economy.
Think about how many things has Trump proposed and then reneged on, like the same week that he started.
Somebody did the math and said, "Oh no, that's gonna crash it."
Yeah,
he says it before they actually did the math on it.
China into the chat.
Because fewer than 4 in 10 borrowers are actually current on their loans. Like it's one of those things where it's a lot of people. Not every graduate is equal, but there are a lot of graduates right now who are struggling and really don't have.
A lot of Trump voters are somewhere in some kind of problem with them student loans. So, you know, like I said, I think that's just going to be one of them things that's kind of come and go. Maybe they'll do something, but there's no way they can smartly go as hardcore as people think they're going to go, and it not have a drastically negative effect on the economy.
But I'm not sure. I agree, but I'm not sure what. If I was a social designer and I was looking at the largest demographic I really got to worry about is millennials, and how have they reacted whenever we flipped some bullshit or had to do some shit that made them suffer? They've kind of just,
after Occupy Wall Street, nothing really.
Right. They kind of just go along with the shit. It don't matter what it is. It could be weird social policy. You can have to be, you know, it could be a lot of millennials are we're going as far as that. I mean, I don't know what they might just, I mean, past performance, best indicator of future outcome. So I don't know why they wouldn't just say, you know what, fuck it, make them suffer. They ain't got shit anyway. I mean, what they got to lose?
Well, it's a consumer economy. It's mostly a consumer economy. So you're potentially negatively impacting your consumer base by going hardcore after those student loans. So I think the dilemma is going to be, you know, which side of this thing you're going to be most faithful to. Because you can go after those loans, you can garnish people wages and all that kind of thing, but how is that going to ultimately really benefit the economy? It's probably not, especially since much of that is just lost, sunk costs anyway in those loans. Some of those loans go back decades, even. You know, so it's not the smartest approach to addressing the problem, especially not now.
So. I would
real quick, better let me. I really want to say this real quick. So remember, number one, 2/3 of those loans are really held by women. Number one, and going to the consumer point, the majority of purchases made in America are women. So in other words, we're saying we're saddling the people that's spending the money with the loan. They're the ones who's got the women. 2/3 of student loan is them. Out of that, what's 1.7? I think last time I checked, 1.7 trillion.
You're potentially crashing industries but consumer industries by doing that.
That's my point. Yeah. But go ahead, Better. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, two things, because unrelated. First one, I think YouTube actually flagged my comments on your post with FB.
Oh yeah, with the bro. You see, I was going to war in my comments.
Second thing, Uru is 100% right. Like, if they were to try to aggressively go after folks, it would crash and cause so much chaos. Because I want to say, I'm a little fuzzy. It's been a little while since I've been on in the HCM system, but I want to say federal student loan garnishment is 25% of disposable income. So that is your income after taxes, before benefits. Most people are living check to check. And you saying, hey, I'm taking a quarter off top. That's people that can't pay rent. That is people who can't, attend certain functions, who can't afford food, who can't do a lot of the things that they used to be able to do. So now landlords gonna have to evict a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people gonna be living in cars. A whole lot of people gonna be going back home to their parents. Hell, some parents just finally got their fucking kids out. And you talking about you sending them back? Hell, the fuck no.
But y'all are right. But are y'all looking at it in the context that they trying to make? They literally, Uru spoke to it earlier about really at the precipice of losing the dollar. The dollar is really on the cusp. And like the Fed chair said, they're not spending any more money for the rest of the year. Don't ask, because we have to.
Hold on, compassion. I've heard a few people say that.
Go ahead, buddy. Let me that. So, yeah, I would say bigger than that though. This is the anatomy of a Luigi, because I remember we were talking about if America is really about it or it's not, and I've been thinking so hard since we had that conversation, and I think this is how it happens. Who's gonna crash the fuck out and actually be about that life? It's not the people who struggling on the day-to-day. It's the people it's the Icaruses. It's the people who done got a taste and touch the sun, and now they got to come back down to earth, and they got to come back down to earth because of you.
Who were the ones that, and going back to that, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for the place on that the second one, but who were the ones, from my understanding, that were more often to escape the plantation? Was it not the ones in the big house? Those, once again, the people that closest to the sun, going to what you were just saying, but go ahead, no place, my bad, go ahead.
But he made the last point he made was a great point, because I recently acquired a new boss, and he came from what we call West Coast network, like technology, where it's like everything is driven by code, everything is driven in basically saying it's just it's pipeline, and it's not like how we do networking like in the enterprise world or anything. It's just very sophisticated, like AWS, those kind of like sophisticated things. So he lost his job as a result of that, and for him to come work for a company like our company and find himself basically requiring on them to give him income now. I agree with what he's saying about some of those people that were so high up, because these were people that are making 300, 400, 500 a year easily, and now they're getting 180, 185%. So it's he makes a good point.
And that's all the way up that way. That's not the person making, 65, 43, 27, $35,000 a year, right? No, I actually like that input better. It's going to be the people who fly too close to the sun, or the people, in other words, it's going to be the people who were doing all right-ish or better than all right, that you took everything from them, or most things from them.
Middle management class. Yeah.
Middle management. Yeah.
Well, can I get in real quick, Z?
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Yo, peace to the guys. How the brothers feeling?
That's good, bro.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Yeah, man. Really, this stuff.
Go ahead and speak on it, Deacon G. Go ahead.
Man, this stuff so far gone. It really only depends on the education system now, right? Because most people so far gone, they don't realize they don't know how to do anything. See, that's the real issue, is that when the jobs do come up, nobody actually knows how to do the jobs no more. Because everybody is too busy scrolling or on the phone or, working in the corporation, that they never actually learned how to do a job. So that's the big problem, is the issues that we're having in our technical field is that they have positions for truck drivers and mechanics and carpenters and welders, but there is no truck drivers, mechanics, or carpenters or welders no more, because the school doesn't, like the public school system doesn't provide that anymore. I think like back in the days, they used to leave high school able to do one of those trade type skills. So a lot of the job market needs to shift into trades, and that'll help us. But it's so far gone now, man. If the millennials don't stop this, we bleed. Yeah, if the millennials don't stop this, we bleed, Gen Z.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens with it. Essentially, the markets that consumed everything at the point and whittled down any barrier of them consuming. Like, this really is, like you said, G. People, a lot of, like, even Z's that's coming out, they don't really have a lot of skills. They don't even really have a lot of social skills to even, get past the job interview, let alone do the job. Like even in my field, we're below replacement as far as carpenters concerned, because the type of, just like the military, they can't, I think Gen Z is like 60% of them are ineligible if they would need them to join the military right now. Like, so it's to the point where we've whittled down families, to the point we've whittled down communities, to the point we've whittled down the institutions, to a point that there's no barrier of the market, and the market essentially is doing everything for profit, but it's essentially draining the entire country of any life force. Like it can't even function as a consumer society anymore, or consumer economy rather.
No, it can't.
It can't function the way it was designed, because of it's just out of control. The market is in everything.
Yeah, because the boys can't afford to go to school. See, that the economy has choked the boys so much that they can't afford to go to school.
Indeed, I want to add to that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, very quickly. Yes. So yes, and that wage stagnation since 1974 was okay when certain geopolitical and geoeconomic principles were in place, including dollar hegemony, which we just mentioned. But when you're now having precipitous drop in dollar value, now you having wage stagnation for the last 50 years is a problem. It's because it's like it's a combination of different things are now becoming real, as Compassion is saying.
You can only have that system where the world wasn't industrializing at the speed it is now. Like it's almost they're not planning for the rest of the world not to be cheap labor forever.
Exactly.
Compassion, do me a favor. Read this super chat when you get a chance, and then finish up your point. No placeholder, but go ahead.
Trail Bentley, $10. To Uru's point, we were sold that to be affable to feminism will lead to more access to women type shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think
how did that work exactly?
Right.
These people are the worst.
Oh,
I thought that shit said affordable at first.
But can I speak a little bit? Can I speak a little bit to the lower classes?
Yeah. Real quick, let's let no placeholder finish with that, and then you got it. Go ahead. No placeholder.
No, let you jump in. I made my point. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead.
That's the thing to the lower classes point. The issue in the lower classes for people seeking employment and for the economy is that they cannot afford to go to school. Now, like as a person from the lower class who's trying to go to school, you actually have to have time to go to school. I never understood the problem till I became a grown man paying for my own education. See, the main issue in the lower classes is after high school, they're thrown to the wolves. So in the lower classes,
I gotta cut you off real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I don't know if Compassion was around when I first when I first started making myself known in the Black Manosphere. I kept on speaking about the age of launch, and we might. And the Roger Report might, if he's listening, he might remember. I kept on saying we might want to reconsider whether the age of launch should be 18. I'm not saying you don't still treat them as adults to a certain extent. But I said it. I know a number of folks in their late 20s, early 30s, and their parents still paying for stuff. I just posted a few weeks ago the thing that said 40% of millennials, 50% of millennials getting help from their peoples.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Like so go into what you were saying. Go ahead, G.
That's because millennials, that's who they hit hardest. We never had the opportunity to own things. Like we walked into when we got out of high school, we walked into pay rent, get a job, figure it out. And there was nowhere to go.
I would say Xers got hit with that too, but you could own a crap Roach Motel ass apartment as an Xer coming out, like working not a super menial job, but kind of a menial job. By the time we came of age, 15 and 20 years later, oh hell no.
We couldn't afford it. Yeah, we couldn't afford it no more.
Exactly. University. When we graduated high school, a lot of us got hit with the university industrial complex.
Yes.
Where they was giving out that FAFSA shit like it was candy to anybody who signed up for the shit, and got all these motherfuckers in college. And like you said, got us spinning our wheels with no guidance, no real, like you said, with antiquated.
Get out here in this market.
Right. Like antiquated ideas that wasn't accounting for fourth wave industrialization, wasn't accounting for AI, wasn't accounting for tech, wasn't accounting for really nothing. And a bunch
they told us to go code though.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bunch of equivalent to a bunch of sayings and quotes we were given to operate on. You know what I'm saying? So those of us that weren't, none of us could afford education, and they took advantage of those. Much of us.
That's right too.
Yeah, you're seeing $300,000, $400,000 loans now. So
go ahead. I'm sorry, Betty, you live. We got to get, because I cut off G like 3 times. Go ahead and finish with that G, and then you got it, Betty.
No, let the brothers flow. Let the brothers flow. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Betty.
I'm be quick, brother. Education essentially became a gamble. It was one in which, for lower classes and in particularly the Black American masses, it was a gamble. It was, you're gonna take this debt, and hopefully with this debt, it gives you the credentials that you need to be able to roll the dice, get into those bigger corporate white collar spaces, to hopefully be able to get in there, get the check, and get the fuck out before the shit crashes down. And
exactly,
it's really all it is. And just like when you go to fuck with Vegas, the house always fucking wins. A couple of people got that jackpot, but by and large, the collective fucking loses.
And let me do this,
Mr. Z. Okay,
go ahead.
The other problem was the pre-collegiate education system does not prepare poorer people, especially Black people, to have the foundation that's necessary to pursue the more lucrative professions. So you don't have the necessary mathematic pre-collegiate preparation to then pursue an engineering program or an IT program, which would have paid much more in terms of starting salaries and scalable salaries. So you have the combination, the lack of preparation going into college puts you in a lower caste competitively, career-wise, after you leave college.
Which is a travesty, Uru, because America spends the most per student than any other nation on the planet as far as education, but somehow we're not even
but where does that money go though? See, no one ever audits where that money actually goes.
Exactly. Yeah, because it sure as hell ain't educating the kids.
No, can I speak on it? Well, this is what happens. In the lower classes, the boys, you don't tell them what to do. So it's like they get to that point, and what should you do? And everybody's taking, like, they're just following. There's, like I said, there's no guidance. There's nobody to tell them you should go be a technician. You should go be a telephone pole climber. You should go be a pipe installer. Like, nobody actually tells you what these professions are.
And to
So
your
you're
point,
just floating.
This is what's important. The important thing is that you have someone, or if you're going to have a woman with you, that she can go with your finances, that she will be happy with what you have to offer, and she will appreciate you for whatever you bring, that her financial, her economics is in your realm, that what you are going to guide her to do, that she can come and listen to you as the man and be happy if you can bring up.
This environment don't produce women like that no more.
Well, that's why you have to leave the environment.
I got
you
a
have
channel.
To leave the environment, because my wife is happy with her Nissan Sentra, which I paid $3,000 for. You would think I got her a baby Benz. When I take my wife to the dollar store, the first time I took my wife to the dollar store, she got 14 items and she gave me the change back and was happy like I did something. When you find somebody, they have to be on your financial, because that is the first problem, and it's going to be the biggest problem if she cannot be happy with you and your finances.
Tony, I gotta say this.
Yes, sir.
Tony, I gotta say this. Somewhere is some woman listening to me, probably a Black woman, listening to my channel, and she's livid about what you just said. She said, "We gotta end that shit." Oh hell no, that nigga having he living a life. A Nissan Sentra for $3,000? Absolutely not.
And she is happy, and she's happy. I mean, you would think my wife, I got her a baby Benz. And I told sense. Black Guru knows about my Gucci belt story, that I have several people, males and females, that want my wife to get a Gucci belt. I refuse to get it. And I say, and she doesn't want it, but they think that I should give it to her because she cooks and she cleans, and that I'm being a tyrant, I'm being the evil guy. But I'm just, I told she doesn't want it, but they want her to have it, and it's like, why are you in my business about her having? And that's just one thing that, I just keep those people away from her. But they really, they tell it's kind of like a joke, but not a joke. But they think that I should do this for her, and
Tunnel
I'm
Runner,
like,
do me a favor, real quick. Read this super chat for me, please, and thank you.
I can't even see it, man. Okay, Tunnel Runner, Nissan Sentra, baby bench tax.
And thank you for that, Indigo. Thank you for that.
Yeah, but that's why I say no. Like,
but
go
one more
ahead.
thing. Then I'm gonna cut off. I just want to let have banana bread with some blueberry, homemade cake, some salmon,
Man,
some
look, Tunnel
lentil
Runner, if you don't get your
beans.
ass on somewhere,
All
Tunnel
right.
Runner, if you don't get your
Right.
bragging
Right.
ass on somewhere, look, every single time.
He fooled me.
But
I ain't thought he was gonna say
Blueberry
that this
muffins and
time.
all.
No, but it's interesting.
Thank you.
I think
Go, go
G,
ahead, compassionate.
I got a channel Osei.
Cut Tunnel Runner off. Go ahead.
Osei Frimpong would say to like, because at a certain level we expecting a lot out of the institutions, the education. They are lacking, and obviously it's something going wrong because we're spending too much money for it to be so, dysfunctional and produce such poor results. But at a certain level, like you said, G, the boys don't have guidance. Like really, like, because this is a structural problem. Like the boys are already broken and cooked from their household by the time they step into public school. They're not guided into anything or prepared for anything or given any preparation for anything, especially if you're a black boy coming out of gynocracy. That's exactly what you're not getting is prepared for, greatness and brilliance in the academic setting. So, and when we at this point, we're now like at the point where where are the teachers at? Why aren't we being guided? Why aren't the students being guided? But I remember going through the process of, picking college and being a senior in high school, and my parents weren't really guiding me. Honestly, the counselor definitely wasn't guiding me, and my parents weren't. They didn't really have a plan they thought out for real.
like I remember, like how old are you, bro?
I'm 34.
Oh, we the same age. So you remember like I remember like a little bit of shop class like in 7th grade.
Yeah,
You feel
they
what I'm
got rid
saying?
of
Like I remember a little bit of shop class. And then I don't remember no more thing that I learned of use in high school ever. It seemed like the only thing they taught us how to read and write. And then they taught us how to do the stuff that the girls could do. And then they kicked us out of school. And like we had to go out and try to figure stuff out. But it was like you didn't know what an underground pipe layer was. You
Yeah,
didn't know what you know what I'm saying? You had to just go out, and we just started off in landscaping, and then we did roofing and
and it was
construction.
literally by chance.
It was by
It was
chance,
network.
exactly. We
Yeah,
didn't, and as you progress through these skills, you think of them as jobs, not your livelihood. Like, so you have to sit down. So sometimes I have to explain to my little cousins and stuff like, listen, this is it, boy. Like, this is all there is. There is no rainbow ending. Because in school they teach you like it's some rainbow ending that you have to go to college to achieve. So you have to snap the boys out of that shit. Like, stop, boy, this is your job. This is what's going to provide you with the things that you need. Take this shit right here serious.
Watch this.
Because
Watch this.
it's
Watch this.
yeah.
Wait, real quick. Detroit. I'm not saying Detroit. G, read the super chat for me real quick, please, and thank you. Go into what you were saying earlier.
It says
Talking about serious.
It says Meg the Stallion, Oreo ass crack calories,
Detroit is the worst.
134,780. Fart zillion sodium equals 89 million. Trans fat equals 90 billion. Sugar
This nigga's the
equals
worst.
980. Passing gazillion. Mg saturated fat 120 quadrillion
Man,
milligrams.
why Detroit?
That's
Detroit be
a
trying to kill
that's a
niggas.
astronomical calculation right there.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Detroit, he be coming up with the craziest numbers for this shit. But finish with that G, and then whoever was trying to go after that. Go ahead, G.
No, but it's serious because when I talk to the boys and I'm talking like, what do you want to do? And it's always something so fantastical. I'm like, okay, so you don't even know how much money telephone pole climbers make, do you? You talking about making some money. I'm telling you, I know a job that you could do right now where you can make 80,000.
But
And they
GC,
have some type of
they know how much pole climbers make, but not telephone climbers. If you
look,
know what I'm saying.
exactly. But no, but
yeah,
this
yeah,
the
yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know the professions.
no, but
They
peep
don't
the
even
catch.
know them.
Think about how we speak about this now. Like you hear it from the women when they ask women about relationships and mating and dating, they ask them, what do you want? Like it's a goddamn Walmart or a store you can go just buy people off of. And that's a normal parlance, especially millennials.
Market assessment.
Exactly. You know where I'm going with this. Even how we're speaking about this, that's how you know they got you fucked up. Because my father in Chicago, my father went to CVS, and Uru know about CVS. CVS is a high school, and it was a vocational high school, and they had dozens of them all through the city. And black kids, because of legislation at the time, my father's a boomer, probably around a little bit older than Uru, I think. But he became a butcher in high school because there was a vocational schools. And this was very common of that era. A lot of our fathers and grandfathers they got training in high school, especially if they was in a metropolitan city like Chicago or New York or something. You could get training. So it wasn't never the kids were it was the structure, the institutions were more robust, that it guided kids like my dad into whole vocations when they was like 15. He was an apprentice butcher at 15 years old. So G didn't have to ask him what you want to do or explain to him the pipe fitters, how much a pipe fitter make, because they were being educated and actually facilitated at a scale. It wasn't down. Now we're at the point where it's down to every individual little cousin. We got to ask, what do you want to do? And they don't fucking know. Nobody knows. We think that everybody got a passion or a skill that's predestined. No, that's some storybook bullshit that they got us purposefully thinking because we don't rely on them. Now our institutions are completely useless because we don't demand that they facilitate anything like that. We think it's all, hey, what do you want to do at an individual level? And a 15-year-old is supposed to have some semblance of it. And at scale, you get a society of motherfuckers skillless, directionless, failing to launch, and don't know which way is fucking up.
But think about
let me do this. Wait, y'all, because I gotta get through these super chats because we gotta end out in 15 minutes. So, Compassion, if you don't mind reading the super chat for me, we're just gonna keep on going. I think was that placeholder that was trying to say something. We're gonna do that, but read this for me, Compassionate. Okay, and then better you. Okay, read this, Compassionate, and better you. Go ahead.
Detroit 313 with the $5. Trump, Deranged syndrome equals calories equals 0. Sugar equals 44 milligrams. Saturated fats 20 milligrams. Bullshit 0 milligrams. More bullshit 0 milligrams.
Detroit, you trying to say Trump not deranged at all? What you trying to say, or am I reading it backwards? And you trying to say he's super deranged?
But Z, the problem is compounded when you're in the lower classes because you turn 18. Nobody even told you what anything is, and then they tell you the rent due tomorrow. That's how daily this shit is. You know what I'm saying? You turn.
Let me let better you go. But nigga, that shit was funny. You know what? I might clip that. I'm gonna try to find a way to incorporate that statement.
Listen, that's exactly.
And you turn 18 and they're like, "Hey, nigga, where's your rent money?" You know what you reminded me of? Anybody remember the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake? When he turned, I think I don't know if it was 18, but like whatever the age is, and he said you could feel, oh shit, now the time start ticking down. Right. So for those of the synopsis of the movie, but that was later on. But he was describing what he felt like. So for anybody, they don't age after a certain point. Like you can maintain your life and not age, but now you age through time. And if you acquire enough time, you just could live 300 years. So he said when he first got hit with the clock ticking, I think it's when you had turned 18 or 21 or something, you get hit with the clock ticking. And he said it like hit him like a gut punch, right? So yeah, so like when G just described that, that's what I just heard to myself. It's like you turn 18 and like, nigga, where's the rent money? It's like a gut punch. It's like it's like Cuddy standing at the stairs like, nigga, where's the rent money? You know. And by the way, I just fucked your bitch. But go ahead. Go ahead, better you.
It goes to show that we as a society, like this neoliberalization of society, has eroded the family and eroded the social structures which we depend on. So I put it like this: a lot of what G and Compassion was talking about, like, is foreign to me and how I grew up. But I realize I have the benefit of a very strong family unit. Like, my father had a business that he did on the side. We dug wells. We did a lot of shit. We did pseudo carpentry with my granddad. So we got exposed to a lot of things, me and my cousins as youths. Whereas even just talking with my friends now, it's like, yo, a lot of niggas like, yo, you dug a fucking well. Like, fuck yeah. It's like, you know how to actually fix some furniture? I'm like, not well, but yeah, technically you could, it won't drop you.
And that created, you benefited, and that buffered you to a certain extent.
Hey, hold on, you said you dig wells?
Yeah, my uncle, man, he got us on some bullshit.
Hey, man, I need to get your number, though.
I need to talk to you. No more, nigga.
Oh, okay.
let me read this real quick. And Detroit says Kamala Harris death penalty for black men cake. Calories equal 45 million. God damn. Sugar equals 67. Ass kissing zillion.
Yeah.
Not the death penalty for black men cake. You know what? I can't say that on the channel. Look, I'm not trying to get my channel snatched. Detroit, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I'll say that. I hear you. Thank you for super chat.
When I went to high school, we did have, so that's how I found my passion was in actually high school, because we had like allied health sciences. We had allied health sciences. We had shop. We had
your mic is trash right now, bro. But I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Are you close as hell to the mic?
You sound far, but
I'm away from the mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound further, but you sound clearer. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's still trash. We can hear you. We had allied health sciences. We had shop. We had home ec. Plus, like I said, my family. I have my mom and my dad are professionals, so that did help as well. But
what year did you graduate high school? Huh? What year did you graduate high school?
I graduated high school in 2005.
Right.
And my high school led me to want to go to college, where I graduated in 2009, because they helped me find a passion that I really like. That helped propel me to go to college. Now my high school also had we had prep courses where you could graduate and you could go into, like, changing oils, rotating tires, have your own service company. They had that too. So
you said your parents were both professionals, so it was your school in a decent district?
I grew up in the country, dog. I'm from a rural area. so the poor, the middle class, and the rich all went to school together.
And in that case, usually those schools pretty decently funded because they all going to the same place. So you probably
because the rich folks.
Right? Exactly right. So yeah, and that's a different structure than in a city like Chicago, for instance, where it's segregated and blacks go to black schools, and those schools just turn out to not be as funded and as well maintained and is resourced as the white schools in a certain side of the city. So it's just it's a different structure. Yeah.
Let me read this real quick because we got like 10 minutes, y'all. So Kanguru says, and thank you for the super chat. Z, can you touch on how what's happening? I know you meant to say what's happening. What's happening to immigrants is a slow walk towards stripped away rights for quote unquote real Americans. So Trump did slip up and kind of insinuate that, right? When was this? A few days ago, or was it a week ago? Maybe a week ago. When they were asking him about the immigrants that they deported, and he kind of slipped up and said like homegrowns or something like that. Like, we need to do homegrowns, right? And a couple of people caught it. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go find those links and we'll cover that. We'll still we still talk about politics on this channel. So I will do a stream about that, or I will incorporate that in a stream I will be doing. Because Guy Incognito been on my neck tough. Like, Z, when you want to talk about the politics, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna incorporate that. And thank you, Kanguru, for saying that, because yes, I think that also. So I'll say that. But yeah, y'all keep on going.
Start the Discord, Z.
It possibly
right, exactly.
It could be a slow walk towards stripping away. I think Trump and just even the media, it uses it Americans love prejudice and xenophobia and racism. So, especially Trump's, base. It's just a way to maintain that I'm still on the shit y'all like. I don't really think it is speaking to really much. I think it's more just
like he said it, but he don't mean it. I don't know. Trump is wishy washy, so he could have said it and not mean it, or he could have said it and meant it and kind of said too much, right? Like this is what the eventual goal is, but he wasn't supposed to say it. So it could be either or. Yeah. Trump wishy washy like a mug. So let's do this. Vince, you came back up. You wanted to say something? I don't know. I think I might have heard no placeholder trying to say something. As a matter of fact, before we do that, because Leon dropped off, so let me read his super chat. He says the elite doesn't need physical strength when black and XX. XX's service class buffers. Exactly, this is what I say all the time, shielding their supremacist hierarchy from the common man who lays flat. You know what? Yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah, I've said that, like, essentially the women are acting as buffers, and for us to get to the elites, we have to move them out the way. But then you'll be labeled all type of sexist, misogynistic, blah blah blah. And I know what the answer is. I don't want to say it here, but we know what needs to be done. And I'm gonna just say that. But Leon, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And there's a way to handle that. So I'll leave that there. We ain't gonna say too much more. But yeah, thank you for the super chat.
But to that point I was making earlier, if I could just get a minute just to finish what I was getting going. Ultimately, we don't have that exposure to a lot of trades and various forms of labor anymore because of the breakdown in the family. And the breakdown in the family has stressed those supporting structures in the school system. So now counselors are dealing with troubled youth and people who
you're breaking up a little bit.
Fucking fire, but
I think
better you wherever you at was not friendly to you. Go ahead. We got 5 minutes, everybody. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm coming through now?
We can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically all those structures broke down. So the reason why our youth are wayward and listless is because there's nobody to guide them. Like I know a lot of us were probably latchkey kids. And if your parents didn't ever pull you aside and sit you down to actually tell you what the fuck they wanted you to do, you probably had no sense of a target to even aim for. So these kids have had kids and in some cases grandkids. So to me, it's not very surprising that these kids don't have a direction for life. Their parents ain't had a direction for life. In some cases, their grandparents ain't had a direction for life.
Mm-hmm. Let me read this. And Detroit says, "Did you hear about Angry Man was on Fox Soul?" No, I did not, and I will look it up. I don't know why I felt like Fox Soul was defunct. But it wasn't. It's whatchamacallit show that was defunct, and it made me think that Fox Soul was defunct. Okay, I'll check it out. I hope it wasn't too crazy.
So, and then it's like, it's not necessarily the loss of direction. Is that they tell you have to do this job opportunity and you need the support, but the job is in Delaware or the job is somewhere where you're not. I'm just saying somewhere far away from me. So imagine you're being from Florida, but the only way you can get training in a higher wage is if you move to Iowa, or if you move to Montana or California or Texas.
Let me say
you
this,
don't have. Go ahead.
I know this white boy that did that, and he's moving back. And he was only gone for what, 4 years, 5 years? You know the white boys that's from the city, but they swear they country.
Yeah.
Right. And they lifted F-250 and all that. I'm describing him to the T. And he had a lifted F-250 and whatever. And he had a nice ass house in buttfuck nowhere, Montana, just like you just said. And guess what? He coming right back home, and he was making some good money. And the winters was trash, and there was nothing to do, and all that other stuff. I was like, I'm not gonna expose that, but motherfucker, you're from down here. Yeah, y'all country. Yeah, y'all racist. I know this, but anyway. But yeah, y'all not even country. Y'all are southern, right?
Yeah.
If you're not from the South, you don't get it. There's a difference. You're Southern. You don't really appreciate that shit. So you took your ass to Montana, and you literally was living the life y'all claim y'all like to live, and then it took you 4 years. You already coming back. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
So,
and that's the
more, you
thing.
know what? More like 5 years. Maybe more like 5 years. But yeah.
And that's the thing with the racism. That's where all the jobs are at. So you're telling a young kid that, first off, you don't have no support that's going to help you get established in Montana. So you're kind of just going out to Montana and depending on whatever system or job or whatever. You're going to sleep in your car. Like, this be the dilemma for a lot of young men. It doesn't matter what race, creed, or color you are. But if you a black boy, if you a black man, and you young, 19, and they telling you the only way to get a job, you from Philadelphia. And
Let me do this. G, because I gotta go in 2 minutes. So no placeholder. Give me the explanation for this. He says, naturals versus coordinators Gundam reference. Which Gundam and which you reference it, and what did I say, or whoever said that brought up this, if you don't mind. Yellow.
I think that's the universal century. I want to say the naturals were the new types, basically like the folks that had like psychic powers or some shit. If I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, from Gundam.
Yeah. Okay. Which one you say? Which one was it? Which Gundam wing was it, or Mobile Suit Gundam?
Yeah, it's
which
the
series better yet?
line. Well, the first one, like the main timeline, Universal
Oh,
Century.
okay, the first one. Okay. The one where that follows what's his name? That's that they just had the movie for Hathaway. The original movie. Yeah, the original movie. Okay. I mean, well, series. Yeah, okay. Was it movie first? I think it was movie, and then they took right. Yeah, it was movie first. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. And am I caught up on my super chats? I think I am. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Perfect timing too. Okay, y'all look, y'all already know because I let y'all know early. My apologies, everyone. We're gonna try to come back tomorrow, but we're gonna pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, and other non-Manosphere content. Z, goddamn. And yeah, y'all. So Z got things to do, and I can't be reckless today. I cannot be reckless today. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
These bitches are acting up, and you niggas are letting them.